Yo, chat, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm live. And as you can see the standings chat, India is on number 2 spot. India is right, tied with Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan. But on tie breaks, this time India is ahead of Uzbekistan. For the first time, India आगे है. पिछली बार तो उज़्बेकिस्तान सब कुछ छीन गया था हमसे, लेकिन इस बार इंडिया उज़्बेकिस्तान से तो आगे है. लेकिन नाउ इज व्हेन वी प्ले उज़्बेकिस्तान डायरेक्टली 1-on-1. सो इंडिया वर्सेस उज़्बेकिस्तान है. द गेम्स आर बिगिनिंग. यू कैन सी द बार्स हैव बीन सेट अप. अज़रबाईजान ऑन टॉप. सो लेट्स गो टू द गेम्स वेरी क्विकली. गेम शुरू करते हैं भाई. एंड लेट मी जस्ट सेट अप द बोर्ड क्विकली. या Yes, so we have the boards chat, we have the games, and the games have begun. Let's go and have a look कि भाई कौन जीता है. Can India continue their winning run, or will there be some sort of upset? We start with the first game. In this game, we have Vidit playing again, Nihal on board 2. We have SL on board 3, so SL continues his run. But Abhijeet Gupta has replaced Sasikiran in this game. So, very interesting setup. We have Vidit with the white pieces, and he's playing against Yakubov Nodirbek. ठीक है, बढ़िया. So, yo Kiran, yo Adarsh, yo Shitesh, yo Pizzazz, how are you? What's up, what's up, what's up? And the stream is beginning, and so are the games. So D4 by VD, Knight F6, C4, E6, Knight C3, Bishop B4. And मैं बढ़िया भाई, कैसे हो यार? And Vidit has, he's not going for the Catalan now, so he's starting with the Queen's Gambit declined, and Black has played the Nimzo Indian. So भाई Bishop बाहर तो निकल गया, but कितनी देर तक पिन रखेगा नाइट को वो देखना पड़ेगा. Then you have Nihal Sarin with the black pieces this time. We have E4, E5, okay, Italian opening आ चुकी है. H6, castles, A6, takes, D5. ओ काफी opening हो चुकी है यार. After takes D6, D4, B5, Bishop D3, Rook E8, and of course you don't want to take an undouble his pawn, so it looks very logical. बाकी वो Queen Win हिलाएगा, Rook connect करेगा, हम भी Bishop develop कर देंगे, Queen develop करेंगे, and it looks very solid for Nihal. Then you have, it feels so wrong seeing rapid games with 45 minutes. It is, life में all the bad things are supposed to be interesting. जब तक bad boy लड़की डेट नहीं करेगी तो फाइनली तुमसे शादी कैसे करेगी. And we have this position right now, very typical opening position. SL has the white pieces, and then you have Abhijeet with the black pieces, and well, he did draw his first game, so I'm expecting him to continue the trend, at least draw the game. He's has an equal match. So board 4 पे equal match है. Board 3 पे we are 100 points ahead. Board 2 पे we are again roughly balanced, 15 point ahead है. And then board 1 पे we are again ahead by 60 points. So clearly we have the edge on a couple of boards. So again, India should be favorite. But let's see क्या होता है. रैपिड से बोलते हैं क्लासिकल बोलने के लिए द टाइम कंट्रोल हैज टू बी एटलीस्ट 90 मिनट्स फॉर द टाइम लाइक ईच, अदरवाइज उसको क्लासिकल बोलते हैं. उससे पहले क्लासिकल हो ही नहीं सकता. इट्स इम्पॉसिबल. यो धवल भाई कैसे हो यार? वीडी से बहुत होप्स हैं आज भी, बिकॉज अब उज़्बेकिस्तान टीम बहुत डेंजरस लगती है. या बट एटलीस्ट उनके पास आज नोदिरबेक नहीं है. उनके बाकी प्लेयर खेल रहे हैं. याकूबोव खेल रहा है, सिंधारोव खेल रहा है, एंड सो ऑन. वोकिदोव खेल रहा है. खाली उनका नोदिरबेक मिसिंग है. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ वीकन्स देयर टीम. नो तो बट इनके काफी सारे दोव बहुत है रे. इसका नाम भी वाखिदोव है, इसका नाम भी वाखिदोव है, इसका नाम जाकोवीर है, इसका नाम याकोबू. भाई मतलब सारे दोव है. यो मेरे भाई क्या हाल है? चैट स्ट्रीम लाइक कर देना भाई. लेट्स गो. फॉर्मेट भाई 45% टाइम कंट्रोल है. दिस इज राउंड 4. इफ इंडिया कैन विन दिस, आई थिंक दे वुड बेसिकली हैव क्वालिफाइड फॉर द सेमीफाइनल, सो क्वार्टर फाइनल सॉरी. अगर हारते हैं तो देन वील हैव टू वेट फॉर टुमारो. राइट नाउ इज इंडिया रैंक्ड इन सेकंड प्लेस, बट ऑफ कोर्स हारते हैं तो एक तो उज़्बेकिस्तान आगे निकल जाएगी एंड पीछे वाली टीम भी आगे निकल जाएगी. सो विल प्रॉब्ली एंड अप ऑन 4th प्लेस राइट ऑन द बॉर्डर. वाई डू एंड स्ट्रीम इफ इंडिया लूज यू आर टू ब्लेम. नहीं, इंडिया नहीं हारेगी भाई, डोंट वरी. इंडिया इज इन फॉर्म इन दिस राउंड. वाई आर यू नॉट प्लेइंग? आई गेस ही हैज कमिटमेंट्स. शायद ही इज प्लेइंग दैट, maybe he's playing Tata Steel India. No, he's playing Tata Steel India. That's why he might have commitments, or he might also be playing other tournaments like मतलब SCC and so on. एक आदमी याकूबोव को हराया था दिल्ली टूर्नामेंट में. हाँ मुझे याद है. Exactly. And so we have the isolated pawn for Vidit. And I think now the plan is very simple. You go Bishop G5, pin the knight. Then you move the queen. You go Rook C1, Rook D1. एक S3 भी लगे हाथ खेल सकते हैं. And then, yeah, black will not give the bishop. The bishop will go back if you play A3. And this bishop will go to B7 on this long diagonal. Knight will come to D7 or C6. Put pressure on D4 pawn. And it's very, very solid. But VD is not worse. And VD, well, looks to be in prep. Let's see क्या होता है. Tarasil... Nodirbek की एज क्या है? आई थिंक ही इज लाइक 18 और समथिंग इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन. टाटा स्टील देखने जाऊँ क्या? ऑफकोर्स, अगर अगर कोलकाता या आसपास रहते तो जाओ, बिल्कुल जाओ यार, विल बी लॉट ऑफ फन. आई थिंक वहाँ पे सारे टॉप प्लेयर होंगे, मे बी यू विल हैव समय एंड ऑल दीज गाइज. हिकारू भी आएगा शायद, बड़ा क्रेजी रहेगा. नोदिरबेक अब्दू 7 अबे ये क्या है रे, कुछ भी. एनीवेज चैट में एक और मेंबरशिप देने वाला हूँ भाई. पता है इस महीने हमने स्ट्रीम किया ही नहीं है, तो तीनों मेंबरशिप पेंडिंग है भाई. एक और मेंबरशिप दूंगा, एक और ट्रिविया के साथ भाई. कुछ टाइम में तैयार रहना. लास्ट में क्या हुआ भाई? जीत गए भाई, पेल दिया भाई उसको. मतलब ऐसे लेटाया उसको. पहले कौन सी टीम थी भाई वो? लेटाया अजरबैजान को और पेल दिया भाई. मतलब chess में of course. Bishop g5 played now and the knight is of course pinned. Now you have two choices. Either you put the knight on c6 and attack the pawn, which is of course more ambitious, but then the knight is also loose on c6 and also your knight will be pinned. So the more safer choice will be knight d7. He takes on c3, but now of course the knight will go to d7 because the d4 pawn is no longer a weakness and he doesn't have bishop e7 to unpin the knight. And bishop b7, knight d7, then he'll play rook c8, try to pressure c3. So yeah, that's why bishop d3 probably. Putting the bishop here and pointing it towards the king is a good move. Abdusattorov. अबे यार अश्लील है ये लौंडा भाई. सारे लौंडे अश्लील ही होते हैं भाई. ये कुछ दिन तो मैं बोला अश्लील कौन नहीं है. लास्ट में ये धोखा हुआ था मेरे साथ. इंस्टा देखो भाई. इंस्टा देखना क्यों है भाई? इंस्टा में देखे जमाना हो गया. इंस्टा पे जब मेरे 1000 फॉलोअर होंगे तब देखूंगा इंस्टा भाई. वाई गुप्ता जी इन टीम? बिकॉज गुप्ता जी काफी स्मार्ट है भाई. गुप्ता जी काफी स्मार्ट है यार, काफी खतरनाक खिलाड़ी है. एंड ही प्लेड रियली वेल इन द ओलंपियाड फॉर टीम सी, सो ही इज अ ग्रेट प्लेयर एंड कैन डू रियली वेल इन दिस टूर्नामेंट. अश्लील ग्रोवर, नाइस. This seems a drawish game. घंटा drawish भाई. White के पास दो बिशप है. He has the central pawns. Black के पास solid structure है. एक अच्छा बिशप है. It is nowhere close to being a draw. अगर ये pawn गया तो black wins. अगर ये pawn push करके pass pawn क्लिक कर गया तो white wins. तो it is not a draw at all. Not even close. Going to the Nihal Sarin game. Nihal की सारी गेम अब तक draw हुई हैं. So wonder if he'll try to go for the initiative now. After the move rook e8, d5 was played. Knight goes to e7. Knight to d2. I think the idea is to defend the e4 pawn, open up the queen, the rook, and so on. After rook to f8, VD is trying to maybe go back to the f file. Long-term pair move like g6 and f5. So now white is thinking white can probably play a4, tempt black to go b4, taki knight can also come to c4, and then even a5 and c6. Who knows? Long-term that could be the plan. Going to SL's game. Oh, this is that crazy line, no? That line, knight c5. I think I've seen this somewhere. Crazy line. Let's see how it goes. And then you have Abhijeet with the black pieces. I have to say, I do like the white position here. It seems to be slightly better with the f5 square and the control, the open b file, and the control over the center as well. But okay, black is solid, so should be able to hold this. Going to the VD game. Let's see what happens. मेंबरशिप में मॉड चेक मुझे कंफर्म करके बताएंगे भाई कौन था पहला बंदा, फिर देंगे भाई. 2-3 दिन लगते हैं भाई मेंबरशिप. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई मैं पॉकेट में हाथ डाल लूं मेंबरशिप निकल जाती है. 2-3 दिन लगते हैं भाई. इफ कार्लसन डाइज टुमारो विल ही स्टिल बी वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 और दैट्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. If Carlson, okay, we should not bet on people dying, but I think people who die are probably removed from the rankings, I assume. But I'm not sure about this. टीम कॉम्पोजिशन चेंज किया क्या? गुप्ता जी आए या बोर्ड 4 पे चेंज किया है. गुप्ता जी आए हैं खेलने के लिए. इट्स बेसिक ससीकिरन गिवन सम रेस्ट. वाईटी का चैट लास्ट स्ट्रीम में ठीक नहीं चल रहा था मेरे फोन में. मैंने भी लिखा था 42 भाई. वाईटी का अब यार ऐसे तो हर कोई बोलेगा मेरा वाईटी का अच्छा नहीं चल रहा था, मेरी बंदी रोमांस के मूड में थी. ये तो बहाने तो बहुत है यार. फिर ऐसे क्या कर सकते हैं यार. टाटा स्टील इंडिया इज फ्रॉम 29th I think. This tournament is probably rated, but rapid rating, yeah, not classical. Sethu is not playing this round. Sethu lost yesterday, so according to me, I don't see Sethu playing. Maybe he'll play tomorrow if India is already qualified and they'll give him one more chance. But I don't think after a loss, there's enough time to basically play. I think it's just formality बहुत छोटा है. So knight d7 played now and rook c8 is incoming. So we have to take care of this pawn. So immediately rook a c1 I think makes a lot of sense. Or either moving the bishop somewhere ताकि rook a c8 पे I can play rook c8. He plays rook c1. ये चैट भाई स्ट्रीम लाइक कर दे भाई. लेट्स गो एंड वी हैव रुक c1 प्लेड भाई. ये गेम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इफ वीडी कैन कंटिन्यू हिज विनिंग रन तो मजा आ जाएगा भाई. कैन वीडी कंटिन्यू हिज विनिंग रन? दैट इज द अल्टीमेट क्वेश्चन हियर. कैन ही कंटिन्यू हिज विनिंग रन? दैट इज द अल्टीमेट क्वेश्चन चैट. भाई नाक में खुजली हो रही है यार. Okay, black seems to be playing very fast. Going to the Nihal Sarin game. He's still nothing has happened since rook f8. Okay, going back to VD's game. Speed जैसे हमेशा परसों से है. हाँ परसों मैच है भाई. परसों is Fabiano Caruana versus I think it is Erigaisi Arjun. That will be a crazy match to follow. That starts from I think like 5 or 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. ये होगा. So that will be a crazy day. No, अबे jinx नहीं होता भाई. Winning walk and winning run. C3 D4 weakness नहीं. Why it's camp? Weakness है, but the thing is हमारा plan है कि इनको defend कर लो. They are not easy to attack, right? Because knight cannot be unpinned easily. Bishop is there, and then bishop कहीं move किया C4 D5, and कल को if I manage to play like something like this, I will have a pass pawn on D5, which is literally going to be close to queening. So I think it's kind of an imbalance which can go either way. अगर ये pawn आगे push नहीं कर पाए तो black will be better. He will simply control these two squares. अगर push कर पाए तो white will be better. As simple as that. एक बार VD चला दो. नहीं यार, पिछली गेम ने नहीं चलाया VD1. So I think MJ is probably a jinx. Let's not play MJ until VD has confirmed won the game. 45 it's rapid भाई, पता ही लगता यार. तुम अगर 10 मिनट बाद स्ट्रीम देखोगे ये दोनों टाइम 30 मिनट के आसपास पहुंचने वाले होंगे. एंड सडनली इट्स लाइक यू नेवर नो. अरे फिर से आ गई भाई, 1 घंटे का गैप था. मैंने कहा 1 घंटे क्या करेंगे टाइम पास. What is the Uzbek team so far? Uzbek is tied with India in first place with 4 points. So they have 2 wins and 1 loss. And yeah, they lost to, I think they lost to only Azerbaijan. So all looks chill. And I think going to the game of SL, by the way, SL seems to have an interesting position. Now bishop f4 defending the e5 pawn, and slowly you can try to get to the d3 pawn. Agar ye d3 pawn mil gaya, so with the open a file, with the active bishops pointed here, the rook defending the pawn with the weaknesses, lot of weak squares on the queen side, I think white will be clearly better. So ye pawn is the ultimate deal. Can white somehow round this up or remove this bishop somehow? Maybe the bishop moves knight h4, who the hell knows, on a good day. Pehle he needs to develop bishop f4, queen d2 and so on, and then he decides. Maybe b4 as well to fix this pawn on a6 might be an interesting concept. So going to the Abhijeet Gupta. Oh wow. So white has played f4 in the Abhijeet game, and after castles bishop h3, f4 takes and e takes, and I think he will take with the g pawn, and that means he will have the open g file similar to what Mamidarov had against VD, and it might be an attack incoming with the knight coming to f5, but still pretty holdable, especially because queen g4, a queen trade is possible for black. That should give Abhijeet by at least a draw, I hope. Going to the VD game, we have rook c1 and black is still calculating. Yo Abhijeet bhai, kya hal hai? अब्दू भाई नहीं खेल रहे. अब्दू भाई इज द ओनली वन हु इज नॉट प्लेइंग फॉर उज्बेकिस्तान. बाकी सारे खेल रहे हैं. सो आई वुड नॉट डिस्काउंट द टीम एट ऑल. उनका एक ही प्लेयर मिसिंग है, albeit the strongest one, but you never know, man. You never know. They literally won the Olympiad. So even without one of their players, there's still a very very strong team. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Okay, that's done. Message भी कर दिया, इसको पिन करके रख देते हैं, and then we check out. So to be honest, from VD's perspective, black pieces जीतने के बाद ना बहुत confidence आता है. You feel like अबे black से जीत गए रे, मैं तो कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ भाई, मैं तो genius हूँ. वो feeling अंदर से आती है, and I think VD can use that to boost his confidence. And his next couple of moves are obvious: rook fd1 and bishop somewhere, and then slowly he can decide when to start pushing. And black के पास कोई clear squares है नहीं. Queen c7 clearly is on the c file opposite the rook. Queen e7 is like, I mean, yeah, it's still in the under a pin. You can't move the knight, so it has no decent squares yet. So let's see how black plays this. Yeah, compared to Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan is weaker, but we also defeated Azerbaijan. So आज तो कुछ भी possible है भाई. ये हमें कैसे यार कि एवरेज टीम रेटिंग बहुत कम है, फिर भी टॉप 1-2 में कैसे हैं? बिकॉज दे आर यंगस्टर्स. ओलंपियाड में दे वर रैंक लाइक 20-30th, बट दे स्टिल वन द ओलंपियाड. दे आर हाईली अंडररेटेड प्लेयर्स एंड वेरी एम्बिशियस. तो इनके चक्कर में यही है भाई, दे आर वेरी एम्बिशियस. तो दे लाइक इंडियन यंगस्टर्स या पराग कार्लसन को पेलता रहता है हर वीकेंड, सेकेंड वीकेंड. तो वही चीज़ है. Standings क्या है? India is number 2 right now. I think we had a look. India number 2, tied actually in the first place with Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan. And I think India को एक win और चाहिए to confirm their spot, because you can see कि सारी टीमें बाकी 2 point पे हैं, and at least 2 of them will probably end up winning and come to 4 points as well. So it's like कि एक win और चाहिए and we can confirm. If India wins today this match, they are qualified for the quarterfinals at least. वो confirm हो जाएगा. अगर आज हार गए by chance, तो कल फिर win or lose do or die match होगा. तो we don't want that. So ideally यहाँ पे at least draw हाथ में चाहिए. Standings क्या है? India looking, yeah, so far looking good. Yes. Yeah, exactly. They're still playing well, still in tied first place. I slept when Azerbaijan were going woke up to say we won against. Exactly. Vidit Gujrathi had the great game, defeated his opponent Mamedyanov. USA last में है, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. वेस्ली वगैरह नहीं खेल रहे. नहीं, Hans Niemann is leading. And I think maybe because it's in Israel, वहाँ पे beats का connection थोड़ा कमजोर होगा शायद, इसलिए it's not going well for USA. But we'll see how it works. Hans Niemann is the captain, भाई. Hans Niemann is the captain. लक था वो वीडी का. अरे भाई साहब, अरे यार कम ऑन यार, ममित यादव को लक से कोई नहीं हटा सकता. थोड़ा बहुत लक तो चाहिए होता है यार. What is format of quarterfinals? I think it's 2 matches versus each team. Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals वही है. 2 मैच होंगे each टीम के साथ. एंड अगर टाई हुआ तो फिर टाई ब्रेक. सिमिलर टू द ओलंपियाड. याद है जो ऑनलाइन ओलंपियाड हुआ था? इट्स वेरी सिमिलर. जैसे टाइम कंट्रोल इज 45+10 एंड इट्स एक्चुअली ओवर द बोर्ड. सो नॉकआउट्स होंगे भाई. So कल तो एक मैच होगा, that will be against USA. तो it will be Vidit versus Hans Niemann tomorrow. That will be a crazy match on board 1 maybe. And उसके कोई भी हो, Hans Niemann किसी इंडियन प्लेयर से खेलेगा. And then परसों से नॉकआउट होंगे if India qualifies. तो it will be crazy. मतलब similar to the cricket Olympiad कह रहा हूँ, वर्ल्ड कप. सिर्फ 5 टीम क्यों है, बाकी कोई टीम क्यों नहीं खेली? बिकॉज सारी टॉप टीम है. 6 टीम है सिर्फ, 12 टीम 2 पूल में. बैटल ऑफ बीड्स, हैंड वर्सेस विदिट. एग्जैक्टली. सिंदारोव भी खेल रहा है, सब खेल रहे हैं भाई. सिंदारोव खेल रहा है, याकुबोव खेल रहा है, वोकीदोव खेल रहा है और वाकीदोव खेल रहा है. सब वोकी टोकी टाकी सब खेल रहे हैं. आगे वापस वाली भाई, बिल्कुल. गुकी नहीं खेल रहा है यार. गुकी could totally play for the Uzbekistan team नाम के हिसाब से. By the way, यहाँ पे याकुबोव thinking, I think he's taking his time. तो VD already gaining a 4-minute edge on the clock. Which team is number 1? Right now, India is tied in first place along with Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan. तो ये match is critical. It will decide who will take the lead and who will lag behind. अगर India हारती है, they will most likely go to 4th place, जहाँ पे top 4 ही qualify करने हैं. तो कल do or die हो जाएगा. And if they draw, then they will most likely qualify. If they lose, कल do or die. If they win, they confirm qualify. लाइक करो भाई और बहनों और देवियों सज्जनों, सब लाइक करो भाई. यस इंडीड. नाइट टू D2 played by Vidit. So that I think is a sign कि he was a bit worried about this, bishop constantly attacking the knight. Maybe that was a bit problematic for VD. He puts the knight on D2. I'm still not sure where the ultimate destination of this knight is, because you can't put it to E4 yet. And there is no other good square. So we'll have to see how VD plays this. But knight E2, very interesting choice by Vidit. Going to the Nihal Sarin game, his opponent has played A4. देखो भाई ये youngster कितने खतरनाक है. Knight D2 खेला and now A4. And if you play B4, then knight can come to C4 and A5 and C6 and you never know. ये कहाँ नाच गाना करेगा. So I think White definitely has a better position against Nihal Sarin. He has the open F file. He has closed the center completely. So even though he has double pawns, he controls the F4 and D4 square. That means कि Knight यहाँ नाच के कुछ कर नहीं सकता. And White has a one-way street. That is the thing. अगर हम Queen उठा दे board से, then Black is absolutely fine. Endgame में he should be okay. But until there are attacking chances with the Queen, Rook, Knight coming into the game, G4 maybe, who knows. I think White is slightly better with this initiative. Slight initiative, I would say. Then we go to the SL game. Since all these kids are very young, man. ठंडे ने पानी से नहाते थे, ठंडे से नहीं भाई, गरम से भाई. Okay, SL still seems to be slightly better, I would say. And Abhijeet Bhai is trying to fight back. But again, similar story, Knight coming to F5. Knight coming to F5, and this is going to be a very difficult position. In fact, even if White does not manage an attack, he can play Knight E3, Knight D5 later on and control the D5 square heavily. And he can get rid of this isolated pawn with A4, A5 once this knight moves. And that means he will have only 2 pawn chains, no clear weaknesses, and a lot of space and some excellent squares for his knights. This knight is a pain in the ass. Isko exchange karna padega. If we can exchange this knight, Abhijeet Bhai's position improves drastically. If Mamidharov plays CCT and plays then not, Mamidharov is playing everything, man. I'm sure किसी की शादी में भी अटेंड करने गया होगा आज तो Mamidharov. किसी की शादी में Mamidharov अभी नाच रहा है, बुर्रा. किसी की शादी में तो नाच रहा होगा आज Mamidharov. He's multitasking right now. By the way, after the move Knight D2, Knight D5 played by White, and look at this move by Vidit. यहाँ पे the best move is Bishop D5, which is such a inhuman, like weird move. मतलब you don't give the bishop ever. I think the idea is, for example, let's say you play a move like h3, I don't know, some random move, just to ignore it. Now you can play h6, and the bishop has no good squares. मतलब यहाँ पे capture कर लेगा bishop, knight can be capture this, and if bishop h4, then you can see knight f4 wins on the spot because g2 is falling. So that's why Vidit plays the best move, takes on d5, and now after, if ed5, you're basically blocking your bishop, and if bishop takes, then you can play c4 and get your pawns rolling. In fact, Black took with the pawn. He took with the pawn. At least he stops the pawns, but he also blocks his bishop. And now rook fe1. Thanks a lot for support, YM bhai. Thanks a lot for means a lot, buddy, for the support. Thanks a lot, man. गुजराती, आपके दिल क्या कह रहा है? आज कौन जीतेगा? मेरे को लग रहा है टाई होगा यार. मेरे को लग रहा है 2-2 होगा. And 2-2 will not be a bad result for India, considering India already won the strongest match against Azerbaijan. Draw के बाद India के qualification chances would be around 90%, I think. Win के बाद 100% and loss के बाद maybe around 40%. So हारना नहीं है बस. Draw and win दोनों चलेंगे. विदित बुलेट खेल रहा है. अच्छी बात है ना भाई, फास्ट के लिए अच्छी बात है, बिकॉज हमने देखा ही वन अगेंस्ट ममिद्यारोव. द मेन रीजन was he had more time on the clock. That was the main reason. It was very obvious, apart from the defensive effort he put in. You का भाई क्या हाल है? उज़्बेक 2500 प्लस 2300 एग्जैक्टली. नहीं, हमारे 2700 खेलते हैं यार. Abdusattorov नहीं खेल रहा है, अच्छी बात है भाई. By the way, now you can't play bishop f4 because queen will take. Bishop e3 would block the e file. So what do? You play bishop h4 and then reroute the bishop to g3, attacking the queen. कई बार ना ये मैनूवर बहुत कॉमन है. Sometimes your opponent has a bishop on d6 attacking h2, and what you do is you play bishop g5, bishop h4, bishop g3 and reroute it via this maneuver. ऐसे नाचते हुए माधुरी की तरह तुम g3 पहुंच जाते हो. अरे वायम भाई, thanks a lot for the support भाई. For salad, भाई सैलड में बहुत खा रहा हूँ आजकल. I'm a big fan of Greek salad, by the way, I must say. Thanks a lot भाई, I'll definitely have it. Thanks for the support भाई. Azerbaijan जीत गए भाई, जीत गए. Thick skin, we won against Azerbaijan. That was an impressive victory. Vidit Gujrathi was the hero, defeating Mamidyarov with the black pieces. What a crazy game. इस समय बड़े प्लेयर खेल रहे हैं भाई. MVL is playing, Mamidyarov is playing, Rajabov is playing, काफी hands, Neiman is playing. सबसे बड़ा प्लेयर तो खेल रहा है. Okay, the other games one by one. Let's do a slight roundup of the opening phase. Vidit seems to be, I would say, tiny bit better for VD so far, but still pretty balanced. After f6, I kind of like these holes we have to occupy. We go to the Nihal game. Nihal game is slightly worse. White has control over the a file after the move bishop d. After he played a4, he played rook b8, takes b4. So look at this positional idea, blocking the b pawn, fixing the pawn on b5 forever. And chat, I have to be very honest, I am worried about Nihal's position here. I am really worried because यहाँ पे white has control over the queen side. He has a weakness on b5 to attack. इसका मतलब है I have to constantly keep my rook and bishop passive just to defend a pawn. He also has the f file. He also has closed the center, so I have no pawn breaks here. Maybe at some point black has to play c6. But chat, मेरे को feeling आ रही है, after a move like c6, we might see at some point an exchange sacrifice like this. And this might objectively be okay, but practically it is so difficult to face. Now h6 is falling apart. You might defend with the king, but now maybe rook f1, knight f3, knight h4, knight f5. There are certain attacking chances here. Even knight f1, knight g3. Many attacking chances. It's very complicated. Nihal's position. I would choose white. Black should not mind to attack unless white offers reservation. Ye kya hai? And going to the SL game, SL's game has also liquidated quite a bit. After the move, bishop f4, rook f d8, h3, a5 takes. We have liquidated. The game is coming closer to a draw. I hope SL can push a little bit. We might need that extra point because they're struggling on a couple of boards. Thanks a lot for the support, Sarthak bhai. Means a lot, bhai. Thanks a lot. Like your logo, bhai. वो knight कौन है? Knight, Sarthak bhai, आपके knight की जो पिछवाड़ा है ना, वो लोगों से बाहर निकाल रहा है. Are you worried about the beads? If your knight is using beads, I would recommend not doing it. Out of frame क्यों रखा है knight? I don't know. Thanks a lot for support, bhai. And we come to the game of Abhijeet bhai. By the way, knight h7 played. He is worse, but knight f5, white has to play for it. Then the queen can come to g4. For example, knight f5. Let's say black ignores it. Let's say black plays a6. Let's say random move, yeah? Now queen g4 is game over. It's game over. Because queen g7 is mate. And also knight takes h6 is the threat, winning the queen on d7. So you have to be very careful once the knight comes to f5 and immediately start defending with moves like knight e7, king h8 or whatever it is. So going to the game of Vidit again. After the move rook f1, f6, bishop h4, and now queen to c6. India won against Azerbaijan. We won against Azerbaijan. It was a 1.5 victory. Pin करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I think I'll speak जब भी जरूरत होगी तो. रेटिंग गलत शो हो रही है. वो रैपिड है भाई. जो तुम्हें उस पे ऊपर दिख रही है वो रैपिड है. जो चेस बोर्ड पे दिख रही है वो क्लासिकल है. Don't worry about the ratings. It's all about the win, the points. Chess has more variation than number of actions. I know. In the universe actually, it has more. नाइट पे बट पर क्यों कंसिडर कर रहे हैं भाई? मुझे दिखा रहे इट वॉज आउट ऑफ फोकस. इसलिए कितनी टीम क्वार्टर में जाएंगी भाई? क्वार्टर में डिपेंड करता है भाई कितना हाई होना है. क्वार्टर काफी रहेगा कि नहीं. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ स्कोर ऑफ 2.5 1.5 we won. In fact we could have pushed for 3-1 but I think SL made the practical choice and drew the game. 3 youngsters and Indians with great future. Nodirbek, I would say Nodirbek. Then you have और कौन है रे? और कौन यंगस्टर है? They all youngsters are Indian at this point. आज के जमाने में 90% youngsters are Indian. That's crazy. I know that's a question, bhai. I know 90% youngsters are Indian. Kamer, yes, Kamer is one. Not, I wouldn't say Hans yet. Firo is not a youngster, is he now? He's already at the top, so he's already at the top. I think Abdusattorov है, Kamer है, and we might need one more. Chess boxing खेलोगे? नहीं भाई, chess काफी है. हाँ, जर्मन केमर है. ये कौन है भाई? एक लाइन कश्मीरी में क्या वन बुक शिरपेट लोग भाई हो गया कश्मीरी में. मोदी जी नहीं है, सैम से भी ना पुराना हो गया रे. ऐसी पेंको इज आल्सो गोइंग डाउन. जियोंग भी, लेकिन ही प्लेस फॉर द यूएस भाई, तो इट्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर हिम. फिरोजा ऑलरेडी मेड इट टू द टॉप. आई थिंक केमर एंड Abdusattorov are two which are who are very strong. Sindharov maybe. By the way, knight f1 played by Vidit. It's very obvious the knight is headed to f5. I think this entire round is based on the knight coming to f5. Everybody is trying to bring the knight to f5. And yeah, of course you don't want to play it to g3 because g5 would trap the bishop. Be very careful. Hands भी 18 का है. Exact. Christopher Yu भी गया रे. He cannot play the Olympiad ever. US team में खेलने वालों को ignore करो because they have no chance. Streamlabs करता हूँ भाई, Streamlabs. इंडियन प्लेयर्स को हटा के बोला रे, प्रक तो इंडियन ही है. एटलीस्ट आई होप. हैंस लॉस यस्टरडे. एग्जैक्टली. मिश्रा जी तो यार अभी 2500 ही है. Why these Middle East countries are so strong against stronger teams? The rating difference is still big. I think it's not about the Middle East countries, about the age factor, the josh they have inside कि मतलब जीतना है. I think that's pretty much it. It reminds me of the Indian victory in T20 World Cup यार, जब 2011 या 7 में कुछ जीते थे हम लोग. कौन सा साल था? I think it reminds me of that. Like they are very young and they are very ambitious. So going to the game of Nihal Sarin. Okay, so he played c6 and white did not take on f6. Luckily, thank God for that. He took on c6 and now knight takes c6 and now it's not the same because now I can capture with the queen. So white did not take advantage of this exchange sacrifice and that is definitely in Nihal's favor. 2-7 exactly. Yeah, we have knight f5 but bishop यार ट्रैप करने के लिए I think it's not useful. Just play knight to e3. That's a safer choice. Going to the game of SL now. Okay, he plays knight d4. He wants the pawn on d3, but I think black can always kick the knight away with c5, and it's not a big deal at all. So you will not get this pawn, at least not in the near future. Going to the game of Abhijeet Bhai. He plays knight f5, and Abhijeet Bhai plays the best move, knight to e7. Very important to get rid of this knight very quickly. This knight is the dominant piece, and white has a choice. Will he go back? He can't actually. I think g5 might trap the bishop again. So he has to probably play a g4. And he plays g4. Now if you take, he can take with the g pawn, open the g file and again attack us. So Abhijeet Bhai has to make a practical choice. Maybe just rook e8, keeping things, maintaining the tension is the best chance. Not telling white what to do. For example, if you take on f5, white already knows what to do. King h1, rook g1, queen g4, khatam. Until you take on f5, he's not sure. Should I keep the rook on f1? कि भाई यहाँ open file होगी. Should I keep the rook on g1? कि यहाँ open. He doesn't know which file to place the rooks on, and that's very important. Also, you don't give the g4 square for the queen. So maintaining the tension for as long as possible until you can is better. Streamlabs भव्या, आपका आज का हो गया जैसे मेरा से एक क्लासिकल डेज ना सिया डिनर करके आता. क्लासिकल नहीं है रे ये. Ronaldo के फोटो में 30 million likes on the first day of upload. Holy crap, 33 million. भाई मेरे फोटो में 33 likes थे क्या? I think 33 तो थे. कल दोनों इंडिया के ड्रॉ हुए थे भाई. कल ड्रॉ हुए थे. Okay, Vidit's game again. बाय द वे ओपोनेंट का टाइम देखो 28 मिनट हो चुके हैं. ओपोनेंट इज टेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. दैट मीन्स कि वीडी ऑलरेडी गेटिंग अ 10-minute लीड ऑन द क्लॉक. दैट माइट बी वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट फॉर वीडी. This is considered rapid, yes, because at the end the increment is 10 seconds, so it's same as rapid. We usually 15 plus 10 is 45 plus 10. And जो starting के 15, I think starting के 20 move होते हैं, you kind of see कि slowly चलते हैं, but as the time falls the 20-minute mark, it gets very fast. ट्रम्प के पोल पे ट्विटर पे 18 मिलियन वोट्स एग्जैक्टली भाई. डेमोक्रेसी पे इतने वोट्स आते नहीं, के बाद जो ट्विटर के पोल पे आते हैं भाई. Elon Musk at least knows how to make it controversial enough कि people join Twitter, yeah. Very Uzbek, he's not playing luckily for us. That means India has a better chance of cruising through here. And यहाँ पे ना, White would love it if the pawn was on e3, I think. Like somehow this would give him a solid structure. Now this pawn on c3 can be a weakness. Imagine the queens are traded off. Black puts the king on f7 and controls the entry square on e7. And then plays b5, knight b6, knight c4. And then these pawns are weaknesses. That's why a queen trade should be avoided if possible from White's perspective. He has to maintain these attacking chances ताकि Black is never free to fully advance on the queen side and pressure this pawn. It's very important. And here rook f7 controls e7, but it also ensures Black cannot challenge White on the e file. So White has proper control over the e file now. Elon is very good in marketing. Exactly. He knows how to market यार, चाहे कंट्रोवर्सी से ही हो. हमने खुद देखा भाई कंट्रोवर्सी से कितना चेस फेमस हो गया था हैंस नीमन की. सो कंट्रोवर्सी यूजुअली इज अ गुड थिंग एज लॉन्ग एज समबडी गेट्स हर्ट और समथिंग. फर्स्ट हाफ में इंडिया का क्या स्कोर रहा भाई? इंडिया 1 अश्लेष भाई. इंडिया 1 2.5 भाई. अजरबैजान मम्मीदियारोव को हरा दिया भाई वीडी ने. अब हमारा इनसे है भाई, उज्बेकिस्तान से बदला लेना भाई. ओलंपियाड में इन्होंने हमें हराया था भाई, अब बदला लेना बाकी है. इनकी वजह से हमें गोल्ड नहीं मिला भाई. ऑफ कोर्स टाई हुआ था इनके साथ, बट एट द एंड वी लॉस्ट द गोल्ड. सो इनसे बदला लेना जरूरी है भाई. इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द पॉइंट्स एनी मोर. बदले लेने की भावना हमारे दिल में भाई. फेवरेट सॉन्ग मेरा कोई है नहीं यार. आई हैव ओकेजनल सॉन्ग्स. आजकल मैं फ्रेंच म्यूजिक बहुत सुन रहा हूँ फॉर सम रीजन, आई डोंट नो व्हाई. डुबोव कहाँ चला गया पता नहीं यार. डुबोव इज वैनिश्ड यार. होपफुली ही इज फाइन. इसका ये भी ऐड हुआ के रेटिंग में रैपिड में होगा. यस, जिसमें चला है फोटो एडिटर, तब से लाइक्स कम हो गए रोनाल्डो मेसी पोस्ट के. ऑफ कोर्स यार, मैं दिल टूट गया है जब लगा दिस वाज एडिटेड. आई वाज लाइक शिट, व्हाई गुप्ता जी वीक? गुप्ता जी इज नॉट वीक भाई, ही इज वेरी स्ट्रांग. ऑफ कोर्स एज कंपेयर टू वीडी एंड निहाल ही माइट बी. ऐसे हम बोलो यार. पाजी कह रहे हैं, सो डज दैट मीन बिजनेस करो एथिकली एंड मार्केटिंग करो अनएथिकली? नॉट अनएथिकली. यू कैन नॉट क्रॉस अ लाइन. लाइक यू कैन नॉट abuse somebody or spread lies, but you can do it in a way जहाँ पे it creates the maximum interest in something. समझ रहे हो? Like वो line को तुम्हें ध्यान से tread करना है. You cannot cross that line. वीडियो का रेटिंग क्या है इन रैपिड? आई थिंक इट्स 266 समथिंग लाइक दिस. 2662 रैपिड रेटिंग है. कल इंडिया के दोनों मैच ड्रॉ हुए थे. आई वाज अ बिट वरीड कि अब क्या होगा. इंडिया के दोनों मैच ड्रॉ चुके हैं, बट टुडे लकीली इंडिया हैज कम बैक फाइटिंग विद गन्स ब्लेजिंग एंड दे सीम टू हैव डिफीटेड अज़रबैजान. एंड इफ दे कैन कंटिन्यू द ट्रेंड दे वुड क्वालिफाई टुडे इटसेल्फ. कल का मैच वुड जस्ट बी मैचिंग, लाइक कल का मैच वो होगा भाई कि भाई हमें न्यूजीलैंड से खेलना है क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप में कि इंग्लैंड से खेलना है. समझ रहे हो? टेबल टॉप करना है कि नहीं करना. नाउ क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप में हमने टेबल टॉप किया और उसका हमें नुकसान हुआ एट द एंड. चैट, डू यू थिंक यू वांट टू टॉप द टेबल? लाइक डू यू, ये कल डिस्कस करेंगे अच्छे से, बट हमें देखना पड़ेगा रे बाकी टीम कौन सी है. C4 is probably not fine because after C4 black will get rid of his isolated pawn. You will be left with the isolated pawn and this diagonal will open. We want to keep this bishop completely blocked. Uzbekistan umpire team comprised of, I think this was the exact team. Only we had, I think, Nodirbek also playing. बाकी ये exact team थी ओलंपियाड की. बुल्टिन ने पकड़ लिया डूब को. I hope not. Always bet on the top, isn't it भाई? I'm not sure man. Sometimes we can be lazy, no? अभी रोनाल्डो और मेसी के बाद मैग्नस और हिकारू ने फुटबॉल पोस्ट करना चाहिए. फुटबॉल ही खेल लो भाई. क्या ही है, जैसे फुटबॉल ही कर लेते हैं भाई. Let's have a match with Hikaru and Magnus captain. छोड़ो चेस वेस. Exchanging on EC will be better for VD. No, I don't think so, because as I mentioned, endgame is better for black because he has prevented rook e7, and then he can play b5, a5, knight b6, rook c8, knight c4, and this pawn will be a pain in the ass. So that's why you want to maintain queens, ताकि you can basically keep an eye on the king side, ताकि black never has time to start attacking this pawn. अगर उसने rook double कर लिए, rook c8, rook c7 after moving the knight, then this pawn is a weakness. तुम defend ही करते जाओगे पूरी गेम में. ये बिशप खाली हवा में फायर कर रहा है भाई. Literally हवा में फायर करेगा ये. India not in trouble, it's all fine. Stefan getting action. Nice. He plays bishop g3, okay. Active move, keeping the bishop on the open diagonal. But the thing is, it's only active because it has long-term potential. अगर हम queen exchange कर देंगे, then the bishop is useless. Yo भाई क्या हाल है? कहाँ हो आजकल? Queen d3 is possible, definitely. I think it's a good move. I think you can put the queen here. But however, I do like the control over the e file. So I would rather, play moves like h3, queen e3, just trying to improve my push, rook c2, preparing tripling if required, just trying to improve, maybe get the knight to f5 if I can, slightly improving my pieces, putting pressure on black, tempt him to go g6 or h6, create more weaknesses. That's pretty much it. Karyakin has joined Russian army. क्या बात कर रहे हो तुम? क्या बात कर रहे हो? इतनी हिम्मत है उसमें? क्या बात कर रहे हो? Don't kid me on this, भाई. If he has the balls to do that, then तो मेरे लिए इज्जत बढ़ गई कि एटलीस्ट वो बकवास नहीं कर रहा भाई पीठ पीछे बैठे बैठे. लाइक आई हेट सच पीपल जो दूसरों को एडवाइस करते हैं, क्या करना है, खुद घर बैठे रहते हैं. भाई कुछ नहीं कर रहा वो भाई. कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा वो ऐसा भाई. देख लिया मैंने. कुछ भी मत बोलो भाई. Came back to top 10 is the last tweet. घर बैठे बैठे came back to top 10. बढ़िया है भाई. VD and Narayan gonna win. Nihal will draw and Gupta will lose. My prediction. निठल भाई कह रहे हैं let's see when था भाई. Let's see क्या होता है. National under 15 in a week. अरे अच्छे से खेलना भाई. Actual Minister of Defense. True. By the way, VD has a 8-minute edge on the clock. It seems like, he's controlling at least the clock situation. Going to the Nihal Sarin game, nothing has happened. Wow, so white is taking a lot of time. He just played the move rook to b1. But that just tells you that Nihal is probably not so worse here now. Certainly because black also has to defend. He cannot use the a file. And now that the d5 pawn has vanished, long term you can imagine d5 happening, like bishop e6, d5. And then if d5 happens, then black would totally be better on a good day. So yeah, Nihal has some options here. So I think Nihal is equal. He's also 11 minutes up on the clock, almost 12 minutes. That's really important. Going to SL against Vokhidov is already in the endgame. We saw it till this move, right? Yeah, knight d4, c5, e6 intermediate move. F takes, knight takes f5, e takes, queen takes d3. Taking advantage of the fact that bhai bishop hanging hai, queen takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and now knight c4. So white has the edge because he has bishop against knight, but the problem is कि सारे pawn exchange होने वाले हैं. So I think this should be a draw, but maybe white is tiny bit better, like rook c7 now. So you try to capture this. Let's say black captures. You can probably capture directly, or you can also give a check in between. Let's say check, king f7, and now take, ताकि you threaten rook takes f5 check now. And white is slightly better. Now you can play bishop e5. Defend this pawn, but this pawn is very, very important. अगर ये pawn गया, it's a dead draw then. So I would say it's a one-way street. Either we win or lose. तो यहाँ पे कोई risk नहीं है white के लिए. That's the plus point. Going to Gupta's game. After g4, he played king h8. Okay, makes some sense. After king to h1, rook a8, and now rook to b2. So white has played this very ambitious move. The rook is coming to g2. So he is playing very strategically. He's controlling the center and now focusing on the king side bit by bit. So I'm a bit worried for Abhijeet Bhai here. Definitely it seems like white is controlling the entire king side. And there might be some sort of sacrifice coming up in the next 5 to 10 moves, I think. And with the queen joining in as well, there might be some sacrificing coming. Going to the game of Vidit again. So nothing has happened. Oh, he's thinking still. 23 minutes for Yakubov. He's taking a very long think here. VD again getting a long edge on the, a huge edge on the clock, yeah. भाई आपके चैनल के बारे में YouTube रिव्यू मांग रहा था कि did you like the thanks a lot by always. शाश्वत महेश्वरी के चेस पे स्टैंड अप देखा? मैंने नहीं देखा है, मुझे देखना पड़ेगा यार. Shashwat Maheshwari, I'll check it out. I did not know about this. Shashwat Maheshwari. I'll check it out, bhai. I'll check it out. उज्बेकिस्तान की इतनी स्ट्रांग कैसे है, क्योंकि उनके प्लेयर्स सुना नहीं है. आई थिंक वो हमारा बायस है बिकॉज वी आर फोकस ऑन इंडियन प्लेयर्स, बट एट द एंड अपने वहां पे तो काफी स्ट्रांग होंगे ही ना यार. लाइक अपने देश में तो वो खतरनाक होंगे ही होंगे. शाश्वत महेश्वरी, आई चेक इट आउट भाई, आई चेक इट आउट. आर यू आई एम एन एन एम भाई, 2200 रेटिंग फिटे. अभी भी देख लो, अभी नहीं देखेंगे यार, अभी तो यार मैच इंपॉर्टेंट है. गौतम चेस के साथ मैच करो प्लीज भाई. गौतम चेस के पास कुछ एक्स्ट्रा जीरो है सब्सक्राइबर काउंट में. जब तक के लिए कम से कम एक जीरो कंपनसेट नहीं होगा तो इट्स डिफिकल्ट. वेयर आर एमजे भाई, जब आज एमजे को हमने सख्त दूर रखा है वीडी से, एंड टुडे वीडी वन. सो फिलहाल के लिए मे बी गेटिंग अ चाइल्ड टच क्लोज टू वीडी एवरी सिंगल राउंड इज नॉट द बेस्ट डील. थोड़ा दूर रखते हैं. लेट्स सी हाउ वीडी प्लेज एंड देन वी कैन डिसाइड. इंग्लैंड गैमेट पुराने जमाने में सही थी भाई, मतलब 2021 में पुराने जमाने में सही थी. अब बोरिंग है भाई. आजकल यू नो हाउ टू डिफीट इट. अरे आर्यन भाई कैसे हो भाई? आर्यन को देख दिल खुश होता है. कैसे हो भाई? हमारे पहले 200 सब्सक्राइबर में से एक. गाइस मेक टिक्कू रीच 100 के. बिल्कुल भाई, सेकंड चैनल फॉलो करो भाई, सेकंड चैनल फॉलो करो भाई. वहां पे पहुंचेंगे 100 के पहुंचेंगे तो ये स्ट्रीमिंग से मुश्किल है. लेट्स गो वीडी, कम ऑन मैन. मेंटेन दैट टाइम प्रेशर. लाइक ऐसे मोड में ना जहां ब्लैक बहुत सोच रहा है, ही इज थिंकिंग टू मच, he is thinking too much. This is the moment you want to basically, like, you know, use that to your advantage. You have subscribe bhai, second channel bhai, do check out if you want to learn chess. This is the moment you basically put on the pressure, use your opponent's time to calculate your next move. हर move के लिए तैयार रहो ताकि you can put on even more pressure. Imagine करो तुम्हारा opponent 15-20 मिनट सोचे और तुम 1 मिनट में move खेल दो. कितना pressure पड़ेगा उस पर भाई कि मैंने 15 मिनट यूज कर लिए और इस बंदे ने 1 मिनट में move खेल दी. मैंने लिंक शेयर कर दिया भाई, साहिल टिक्कू चैनल का नाम है भाई. इफ यू वांट टू लर्न चेस, आई थिंक दिस इज अ ग्रेट चैनल टू फॉलो. उसमें खाली वीडियोस है, लेकिन स्ट्रीम चलेगा मोस्ट लाइकली फॉर एन आवर, मे बी स्लाइटली मोर. जस्ट चेक इंजन एंड लिटरली एनी मूव इज एक्सपेक्ट फॉर 3. ये क्या मतलब है भाई? हाउ टू प्ले इट ओपन, चेक है asf.in. थैंक्स अलॉट सुदीप भाई. एनएम का फुल फॉर्म है भाई नेशनल मास्टर, मतलब देश का मास्टर भाई. WGM साहिल टिक्कू सूट्स बेटर भाई. सूट तो बहुत कुछ करता है भाई, बट मिलता नहीं ना. WGM नाम मेरे पास तीनों है बट आई कांट गेट द टाइटल. ओ, नाइट गोज टू F8. Now that's an interesting choice because it controls the E6 square, so I can't, let's say, penetrate on E6. Let's say Queen G4, Rook E6 is no longer possible. But it also puts the knight on a square जहाँ पे कोई ढंग का square है नहीं. D7 से तो आई ही है. E6 is not available. G6 is literally a useless square. So now I can play moves like H4, H5 and basically fix this pawn on H5 ताकि ये it creates some holes in the black, tempts black into creating more weaknesses. I can also play Queen F3. Oh, he literally played H4. Wow. He literally played H4 and then Queen D7 and now H5 played and now Bishop C6. I think black is trying to reroute the bishop to a better square, basically exchanging the bishop off of the knight even, and now is where VD can even play H6 or he can play Queen F3, get out of this bishop B5, and then he can slowly play H6 to weaken the squares, force black to go G6 and then F6 will be weak. यही काम है भाई, धीरे धीरे weakness create करना. ग्लूजीएफ के लिए प्रूफ में क्या मांगते हैं 3 नॉम 2300 रेटिंग और आई थिंक बाकी जेंडर तो आई थिंक ऑब्वियस ही होता है. Yeah, knight e3, knight f5. Exactly. You can play queen f3, then knight e3, knight f5 would be an excellent move here. Totally possible. Have you played against Hikaru? Yes, I've played him thrice. I lost all 3 times, unfortunately. Chat stream like kar do bhai. Let's get to 300 likes. And if you're here for the first time, to subscribe bhai. Important match hai ye. If India wins this, they are guaranteed to go into the quarterfinals. If India draws, then 90% they are guaranteed. If they lose, then it's down to 40%. So kal do or die ho jayega. Name all the titles. I think in decreasing order of importance, it is GM, IM, then it is WGM, FM, then it is NM, WIM, and CM, and then it is WFM, and then WCM, and then so on. Rook B1 is not a good move, I think, because it basically is trying to prevent Bishop B5, which black can anyway long-term play. एंड हमें ये पॉन डिफेंड करना है. हमारा रुक ऑन C1 के 2 ही काम है, एक पॉन को डिफेंड करना एंड सेकंड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ डबलिंग ऑन द E file एंड सो ऑन. Preventing Bishop B5 is not like a big deal, I think. It's not a big deal. They should add Super GM cause why not create more hierarchy? Yeah, they should. Super GM would be interesting. Is this classical or rap? This is kind of rapid but has a higher time control. BM last. BM is at the top भाई. BM is at the top. चैट मैं एक और मेंबरशिप के लिए वो करने वाला हूँ भाई. आई एम गोइंग टू डू एक और मेंबरशिप के लिए चैलेंज एंड इसके लिए एक ट्रिविया पूछूंगा. बताना चैट कब करना है. व्हेन यू आर रेडी फॉर इट आई विल डू द ट्रिविया. ठीक है, लेट्स गो फॉर इट. रैपिड और ब्लिट्ज चैंपियनशिप कब से है? रैपिड एंड ब्लिट्ज चैंपियनशिप है आई थिंक 25th of December से. उसमें टाइम है, महीना है अभी, बट आई थिंक टाटा स्टील पहले आने वाला है. ठीक है, सो रेडी हो गया. जो बंदा सही, पहला बंदा सही आंसर करेगा, ही विन्स द चेस्को मेंबरशिप. द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज समय रैना's फेवरेट कलर? आई एम आस्किंग हिम राइट नाउ. रुको भाई, आई विल आस्क हिम. रुको भाई, आपका फेवरेट कलर क्या है? ठीक है, आई आस्क समय एंड व्हेनेवर ही रिप्लाइज, जो पहला बंदे ने सही बोला होगा, ही गेट्स अ चेस्को मेंबरशिप. उसका आंसर इतना सिंपल नहीं होगा भाई. आई डोंट थिंक इट विल बी एज सिंपल एज ब्लैक और येलो. यू नो समय, उसका कुछ ना कुछ तो फनी बोलेगा ही. तो ध्यान रखना. जब भी उसका रिप्लाई आएगा भाई, I'll सी. ओ रिप्लाई आ गया, फक. ओके, रिप्लाई आ गया भाई, रिप्लाई आ गया समय का. बट आई विल नॉट डू इट दिस क्विकली. थोड़ा चांस दो. अभी किसी ने भी सही आंसर नहीं दिया आई थिंक. आई डोंट थिंक सो. लेट्स वेट फॉर इट. Okay, I'll tell you how many words he has written. He has written 3 words. Nobody can guess this. I don't think so. Exact तुम्हें आंसर बताना है भाई, यही जादू है बस. जनरल नॉलेज भाई. अब क्या तुम्हें माउंट एवरेस्ट की हाइट पूछूंगा क्या? अबे 3 वर्ड्स, 3 अल्फाबेट्स नहीं भाई साहब. इतनी जीनियस जनता कैसे है रे? आइवरी ग्रीन नहीं. आइवरी ग्रीन नहीं है भाई. Okay, by the way, VD is still thinking. He still has a 9 minutes on the clock. Color of skin नहीं. एक बंदा क्लोज आया है. One guy was close. One guy was close. सिद्धार्थ भाई ने डैश का कलर नाइस. मैं बताऊंगा. I'll reveal the answer at 10:30. ठीक है, तुम गेस करते रहो. I'll reveal the answer at 10:30. Going to the game of Nihal Sarin. By the way, Rook B1 का कुछ हुआ नहीं है. Nihal is still thinking. Going to SL's game, Rook B7 happened instead. Knight B2, Rook B5. I think Rook C7 was a bit stronger, but this now should lead to a draw after Knight to D1. So I think SL's game chat will end in a draw. So that I think is one result already. We are very close. Abhijeet Gupta, however, has played F6. But I think after this, H4 and G5, Rook G2 seems to be very, very strong. Even Queen F3 and Queen G3, I think Abhijeet is going to struggle in this game. And I really, really hope he can hold this. Going to the game of Nihal Sarin, kuch hua nahi hai. Going to win this game again. Okay, so I'll reveal one word he has written. So out of 3 words, 1 word is red. 1 word is red. 1 word is red. I don't think anybody can predict what he wrote exactly, but okay. Although you can probably, if you can use Google correctly, you'll probably find it. If you can use Google correctly, you'll probably find it. Why not Knight G6 in Abhijeet's game? If you go to Abhijeet's game, Knight G6, you can, but I'll just put the bishop back on G3 and then I'll kick your knight away with H4, H5 maybe. And it will, and basically you need the option to trade this knight because this knight is the piece that will be sacrificed, yeah. So it's exchange करने का option रहे तो better है, and that's why also F6 is not so great because once you exchange now, then I will have a hole on G6 to sit my rook with. So I think that's why that's an issue. By the way, knight E3 played by VD, so the knight is heading to F5. Next move obviously will be Queen F3. I think he basically did not want to exchange the knight for the bishop. He thinks this bishop is so stupid कि अपना knight F1 पे बैठा हुआ अभी उसके पहले देना चाहता. Flaming hot red, red green blue, red hot लाल बाल पाल क्या है भाई? Red chili peppers नहीं भाई. I cannot reveal one more word because then you will figure it out. So okay, I'll reveal one more word at 10:25. Burgund, ये क्या है रे? Chi, Red Dead Redemption, chi. Anyways, by the way, Vidit's game is still interesting. 8 minute की edge है. Slowly Yakubov is falling below the 20-minute mark. हिंदी है या English? English word है भाई दोनों. if you are very smart, if you can Google well, you'll probably figure it out. But it has to be a smart Google search. Well, if you think it's exactly in color, then it's not exactly a color. फायर ब्रिक रेड कह रहे हैं संचारी मंडल जी, जिनका रोल नंबर है B31. अरे चीज अगे भाई, अरे आई मीन ओके, ये क्या चल रहा है? लोग अपने गर्लफ्रेंड के फेवरेट कलर बता रहे हैं भाई. I don't know. Anyways, 93 player. Okay, he's gone below 20-minute mark. He's gone below the 20-minute mark by. Finally, he's gone below that. So VD on top, absolutely on top. Okay, I'll give you a hint. I think, okay, maybe at 10:25. Not yet. Let's see. सागर शाह रेड क्या होता है भाई? ये कौन सा कलर है? Knight move not on rookie 8. Just pin. Now, if you can play rookie 8. That is definitely possible. I think that is one good move here. कि knight को pin कर दिया. But maybe I will just move my queen away. Yeah? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you're correct there. Now, rookie 8 will be a good move because this is one moment where I'm not controlling E8. Red light area नहीं है रे. Is India ahead? Right now, I think it's balanced on all four boards. I would say India is slightly worse in the last game. Abhijeet bhai is struggling a little bit. उसके अलावा बाकी सारे बराबर ही लग रहा है मुझे. किम्सन रेड फ्लेयर नहीं भाई. कश्मीरी रेड चिल्ली नहीं भाई. Are we close? नहीं भाई. Nobody is close. You are going for colors. You have to be very smart. मुश्किल है रे. कुछ guess, कुछ hint देना पड़ेगा यार. बड़ा मुश्किल है. ऐसे बड़ा मुश्किल है रे. Should I give you a hint? There is a I don't know, you might just figure it out. There's a song by that name, not technically a famous song, but there is technically on paper a song by that name. Anyways, okay, let's go by. आज अभी आया, क्या हाल है? एनल बी मंदिर भाई क्या बोल रहे हैं यार? चैट स्ट्रीम लाइक कर दो भाई. लेट्स गो. चलो ठीक है, लेट्स at 250 likes I will reveal another hint. ठीक है, लेट्स गो. कलर क्वेश्चन ये कि भाई व्हाट इज समय's फेवरेट कलर? बाय द वे भाई कितना क्रेज है रे समय का भाई. समय कलर भाई गेम के सब भूल ही गए भाई. दिस इज द पावर ऑफ समय रहना आई अज्यूम भाई. बाय द वे कम ऑन निहाल. और नाइट A7 क्या कर रहा है रे? Okay, अच्छा ये pawn defend करना था. Not many choices there, I assume. Knight A7 now, and if you go rook A1, I'll come back to Knight C6. That was a draw for basically from Nihal. And he plays queen to attacking the bishop again, and he plays rook C8, saying if you capture this, I will exchange everything and then take on C2, and I'm better. So if Nihal can enter on C2 with this rook, then this broken pawn structure will help favor him actually. So White also has to be careful. Any endgame is probably better for Nihal. क्या रिवील हो रहा है? कुछ नहीं भाई. किस लैंग्वेज में? इंग्लिश में ही है भाई. इट्स जस्ट अ ट्यून एक्चुअली. मैंने गूगल किया, इट्स अ ट्यून. बाय द वे, विद स्टिल प्लेइंग. ओपोनेंट 17 मिनट्स है ओपोनेंट के पास भाई. 17 मिनट्स है. समथिंग इन रेड. क्या यार, जो नया बंदा आया चैट देगा भाई चल क्या रहा है. ओके, सो आई थिंक कोई गेस नहीं कर पाया भाई. कोई गेस नहीं कर पाया. आई थिंक इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेस दो. आंसर दो चैट. शैल आई टेल यू आंसर देन नोबडी विंस? मुझे बताओ भाई, या फिर एक और हिंट चाहिए? ओके, 16 मिनट फॉर द ओपोनेंट. यस, और सोच लड़के, और सोच और सोच. ओके, हिंट मांग रही है चैट. ओके, यू वांट अ हिंट. सो ओके, आई विल रिवील अ हिंट. I will repeat one more word. ठीक है? The third word is red. Because इसमें कोई I had not heard of this before, so you will have to guess it. Third word is red. First word is self. Now second word तुम्हें guess करना है. Just take it. बहुत difficult है, but okay, go for it. Let's see. Wrapped in red. नहीं भाई. सेल्फ मेड रेड नहीं. ये नकली विदित कहाँ है भाई? एक विदित चैट में पड़ा हुआ है भाई. असली विदित तो यहां बैठा हुआ है भाई. यस, बियॉन्ड यू ने सही बोला है भाई, सेल्फ ल्यूमिनस रेड, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। बियॉन्ड यू भाई ज्वाइन करो डिस्कॉर्ड भाई, आपको मेंबरशिप दे देंगे भाई। बताना भाई कौन सी चीज एस्कॉम की चाहिए, यूट्यूब की चाहिए, बताना भाई। सेल्फ ल्यूमिनस रेड, एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू। यस करेक्ट। सब मैंने यही मैसेज किया था, आई एम नॉट श्योर दिस इज एक्चुअली हिज फेवरेट कलर, बट ओके। चलो भाई बढ़िया भाई, कर लिया गैस भाई। बियॉन्ड यू बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे, बियॉन्ड यू कुछ समझ तो नहीं बैठा हुआ चैट में। व्हाट इज सॉन्ग? सॉन्ग इज भाई वही है, माई रेड सेल्फ। भाई क्या कर रहे हो तुम? ऐसा कलर भी है भाई, कलर नहीं है। दिस आई थिंक अ सॉन्ग बाय मार्टिन टोरेस बाय दिस नेम, आई हैव नॉट हर्ड ऑफ दिस। सुनना पड़ेगा क्या है, इट्स लाइक अ ट्यून और समथिंग। मेरा भी सही था, एनएल बी इज रेड। नहीं भाई, नहीं भाई, नहीं था अनफॉर्चुनेटली, एटलीस्ट नॉट इन इंडिया। चलो अब स्लो चलेगी चैट। गूगल में फर्स्ट आंसर है, रियली? फिर तो बढ़िया है, फिर तो निकालना चाहिए आंसर तुम्हें, फिर क्या चक्कर है? Anyway, rookie had played now finally 14 minutes for black. Double time है VD के पास. Apparently now C4 is a good move. That is crazy because C4 के बाद, if for example you take, I thought this should be better for black, but apparently after queen takes C4, because black's pieces have moved to the king side after bishop B7, white has the edge now. And I assume it's purely because this pass pawn and yeah, this excellent knight on e3 which can come to f5, controls d5, and certainly white has control. But yeah, this is a difficult decision for VD to make. Like d5 here and white is better. Yeah, white is better because it's awkward knight, awkward rook, but not an easy choice to make because how do you finish off? Like there is no, I don't see how you break through. C7 is controlled really well. You can't push the pawn too much because the bishop will open up. The h5 pawn can also be attacked long term. So I'm not sure VD will go for c4. It's a very difficult choice to make. Apart from it, I think a simple move like moving the queen to f3 or d2 might also be logical. So let's see. शायद फ्लेयर विशी का एक है भाई, रेड वाइन। भाई लोग तुम स्ट्रीम पीछे देख रहे हो भाई, आगे आ जाओ। बीएम प्लेस साहिल भाई, इसने पहले बोला चेक करो। रियली? तुम्हारा ही दूसरा अकाउंट है क्या? कोई मॉड चेक कर देना प्लीज यार। भाई डांस का क्या हुआ? भाई डांस मैंने कर लिया भाई, स्ट्रीम ऑफ करके। डांस हो गया बाय द वे। ओके, एनीवेज बाय द वे गोइंग टू निहाल सरी। ओ रुको, आफ्टर द मूव rook c8, he played knight d5, Nihal took, pawn takes and played f5 now. So this is definitely looks a bit optically better for, at least better than before. I think white will play e4 now and then black will play f4 and both sides will have a strong pawn chain. But at least Nihal's, apart from this knight, everything else is awesome. If this knight was here, I would say Nihal is even better. But this knight is the only problem now. इसको reroute करना पड़ेगा like rook b8, knight c8, knight b6, something like this. If Nihal can reroute this knight, I think he'll do really well. Hint दो भाई, तुम पीछे देख रहे हो स्ट्रीम, बहुत पीछे देख रहे हो, आगे आ जाओ। India drew both matches yesterday and today they won the first match. Bhai, okay, this is a draw, man. This is a draw. This is a dead draw now. Okay, some chances maybe, but I don't see it happening. For example, I think rook g5 is pretty much forced. And yahan pe, what can you play as the best move? You can't play rook d5, I think, just yet because check and you win something. But just knight d5, I think, works because there's no rook c7 check anymore. And this should be an easy draw. I think this should be an easy draw for black. So going to Abhijeet's game again. Oh, h4 played. White has played h4. After the move knight g6, bishop g3 played. As mentioned, knight comes to e5. So it's an active square for the knight, putting pressure on these pawns and also on g4. But the issue is white doesn't care. You can only attack it once. I've already defended it. And now I play h4 and I'm trying to break through here. Yeah, for now, black has controlled g5 very well, so he can't push through immediately. But these pieces still kind of scare me a little bit. So Abhijeet Bhai is still fighting, but optically white seems to be better. Going to Vidit's game again, he plays queen f3, makes sense. And yahan pe apparently black has a good move, that is f5, which is very difficult to play, yeah, because it technically allows bishop e5. Like it looks like, okay, bishop e5 is such a good move. But the problem here is, chat, can you find the move for black? What is the problem with the move bishop to e5? कौन निकालेगा भाई? कौन बताएगा पहले, बताओ चैट. Who will find the move? Problem with bishop e5. Where's Society who is better streamer, not in terms of subs? अरे भाई ये क्या है रे? Yes, rook e5 is the move, bhai. Rook e5, d e5, and then you play d4. Knight is hanging, queen is hanging, and black is winning. So that's why you can't play bishop e5, and that means that after f5, f4 can be a threat. So VD will probably have to play bishop f4, and that's not the same as bishop e5. So that's one good move. Or he can play rook fe7, but then VD maintains a slight edge. Yeah, he can play h6 and weaken f6. Beyond प्रांश और बियॉन्ड की लड़ाई चल रही है भाई. पहले किसने बोला f5 is tough. It is tough. फर्स्ट मैच में इंडिया जीत गई भाई. इंडिया जीत गई. वीडी ने लेटा के पेला भाई, लेटा के. नमस्ते रितेश भाई, कैसे यार? अब तक कोई भी गेम में रिजल्ट नहीं आया यार. दिस इज लाइक रेयर. ओ लुक एट दिस. इंस्टेड ऑफ कैप्चरिंग दिस पॉन, SL plays rook b7. That's a very interesting choice. He could have taken the draw. After g6, he will probably win the h7 pawn now, but I'm not sure that's a good trade. That's still a draw. Sasvidi. Speed Chess Championship starts day after tomorrow, 23rd को. समय का फेवरेट कलर क्या है भाई? मैंने बता दिया रे. और हम इधर का ड्रॉ हुआ ना, लेटा के किसको हारा हम इधर. हो रे वीडी ने हराया. Come on. Oh, rook g7 check. He plays rook g7 check. King goes to f8, and now rook takes h7 played, so he wins the h7 pawn. But I'm not really sure if this pawn is like. It just feels like now knight here, and just the pawn is pushing. So we have to be very, very careful. Very careful about this. VD live rating is I think 2730 in the classical, and rapid में 2662 है. I think rapid वाली बढ़ सकती है यहाँ पे काफी. SL has to be careful going to the VD game. f5 played by black. Black is going for it. He found the critical move. Now VD has to play bishop f4 or bishop h2 not to blunder bishop e5. That's very important. Bishop e5 would lose on the spot. He will not blunder, of course. He has to play bishop f4. That seems to be the best move in the position. Completely blocking the f5 pawn. Mors will check, yes. Speed Chess Championship starts I think from 23rd. That's the first game. 23rd के बाद 6 दिसंबर को अगली गेम होगी. इस टीम का कैप्टन कौन? अरे अपना वीडी कैप्टन होगा यार. और कौन होगा? कैप्टन तो एक्चुअली वो है, वैभव सूरी. आई थिंक ही इज द कैप्टन, राइट? ही इज द कोच. आई थिंक आई एम नॉट श्योर कैप्टन कौन है. फाइल केस फॉर गेसिंग फर्स्ट 1 million सूट. नाइस भाई. मेरी चैट आ रही है अभी. चैट बिल्कुल आ रही है भाई. साहिल भाई पिज्जा दे दो भाई. पिज्जा इज अनहेल्दी फॉर यू. Nowadays, when you are live, I do not see YouTube showing me on the landing page. You are live. Earlier, you should show off. Click on the bell icon, भाई. उससे सारी चीज दिखाएगा. एक बेल आइकन होगा भाई. बेल होगी, उस पे काली कलर, उस पे दबा दो भाई. Where is captain? Okay, that makes sense. I am from Faridabad, Sudeep भाई. Faridabad next to Delhi. f5 played. Let's go bishop f4 video भाई. जल्दी से bishop f4 खेल दो. Do not waste too much time. Let's put the pressure on the clock again. एक बार वो 10 मिनट से नीचे जाएगा ना, I think he will start panicking. That's the moment when you start sweating and your hands start shaking and you're kind of ready to give up. Captain is only not playing. Yeah, कई बार होता है यार. Even the Olympiad, like we had captains who were not playing. Like Ramesh sir was the captain, I think, and then you also had like I think Srinath was the captain, and then you had other captains. So it happens, yeah. We shouldn't have played queen f3 right in front of extra bishop. Yeah, maybe that was it wasn't the best, but you also don't expect this pawn to ever move, because unless you play c4, this bishop is never opening up. So queen f3 seems to be a decent move. And वैसे भी queen d2 क्या करते हैं? That's a very awkward square, right? So bishop f4 now takes care of everything. Ideally f4 prevent कर दो. I think that will be good. कैमरा के सामने होते हो तो पतले लगते हो. बड़ी बात है अजीब से भाई. वो भाई अब उतने फिट रहे नहीं भाई. हो जाएंगे फिट. YouTube glitch. Oh, maybe it's possible. Met Magnus, Anish, Prag, Wesley, and Ramesh yesterday. Meltwater Championship. Also spoke to Anya. Awesome, Naveen bhai. Really? That's really cool, yeah. How was the experience? If India draws, then we are through. If India wins, we are through. If we draw, then we are 80% through. Not confirmed. Camera hands 10 pounds. Yes, exactly. इंडिया में नेक्स्ट बिग इवेंट वुड बी टाटा स्टील इंडिया. आई थिंक दैट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 29th. Gupta equalized kya? Yeah, the engine says it's roughly balanced, but I would not be sure because even though it might be okay for black, but practically black के लिए moves निकालना इतनी passive position में is really difficult. Yeah, you can play b5 maybe or d5, but it's much easier for white to play sometimes when you're attacking. तो वो एक चक्कर है यहाँ पे. SL, how by the way, has played knight e4 and f3, so this one I'm expecting to end in a draw very quickly. I don't see much happening here. Nihal Sarin, by the way, after the move f5, e4 was played. f4 I think is the only move basically, and now rook a1, the knight is attacked. Rook c7 is the best move. He plays it, but now white has control over the a file. Maybe rook to a5 now, and then Nihal can slowly route the knight to b6 and try to get to c4, or even on the king side if allowed to. So yeah, knight is the only problem piece for Nihal, I think. Going back to the VD game, he's still not played. He still is at least 9 minutes ahead, so that's a plus point. What was the color? मैंने बता दिया भाई. The color was red, a self-luminous red. Experience was amazing as no public was allowed inside the building, so could take pics with all. Nice and happy after the event, took their autograph as well. That's nice, yeah. Glad you have had a nice experience. Who was the person out of all the people you met, like the most chill? Like, who was the person you liked the most? I'm going to दोस्ती टूटने वाली है बहुत लोगों से. Why not knight c2 in this game? Knight c2 is, yeah, you can play it, but what's the point of knight c2? It's going in a passive way, right? You're going back. Ideally, you should not go back. Bishop e5, we just mentioned rook e5 is the problem, and you basically lose the game because of this tactic. So you cannot lose 2 pieces for a rook here. That's very important. Introduce yourself. Just Sui Sahil Tikku. My name is Sahil Tikku. I am Vice Federated National Master Bhai from India. When will I meet them? यार वो US में होंगे ना, तभी तो US में मिलके आए उनसे. अब वेट करो अगले टाटा स्टील में भी. India's biggest Twitch streamer. Okay. क्या आप कश्मीरी हो? Cause your name is Tikku. Yes, भाई, I'm Kashmiri. C4 यार अभी नहीं भाई, अभी नहीं. By the way, VD goes back. He plays knight to f1. Wow. Not something I expected he would play. So he has taken his knight back because he just played it on e3 like 2-3 moves back. He just played knight e3 and after queen f3 and again goes back. So that's a bit, he probably feels he has made a mistake, or he wants to now reroute the knight. Chat, can you tell me what is VD's dream destination for the knight on f1? ये knight कहाँ जाना चाहता है? Do you know? दो ऑर्डर होता है, ये क्या है भाई? h6, yeah, that's definitely on our minds. Yeah, at some point you want to play this and weaken the dark squares. $1 million or 10 lakh rupees, what will you choose? We are Indians, so rupee dollar, you can't put money, you can just purchase something. Of course, $1 million, bhai, that's a much higher amount. That's like 8 crores. Yeah, so you want to go to e5, exactly. So you can move the queen, play knight d2, knight f3 and knight e5. If this knight was here, even without the fork, I think VD would be completely dominating. Black plays rook e4, so he's like, I'm going to double my rooks now, and I will not allow you the time to basically come with the knight to e5. Until then, I will basically double up and exchange all the rooks, ताकि knight e5 आओगे भी तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. That's as simple as that. Let's see what happens. Watching same नहीं होगी यार. I'm sure they have a higher watching. Usually they have a higher watching. I think they will. भाई 1 million subs हैं यार, तो of course watching can be. आप c4 is always risky vice. ये बिशप को नहीं खोलना है. ये बिशप 500 साल पुराने की लड़कियों की हालत की तरह घर से बाहर निकलने नहीं देना उसको. एटलीस्ट दैट वाज द पर्सपेक्टिव देयर, रॉन्ग पर्सपेक्टिव. वैसा ओपिनियन रखना है बिशप के बारे में. बाय द वे, ही प्लेस बिशप e5. नाउ द पॉइंट इज यू कांट टेक बिकॉज आई विल टेक विद द रुक. I won't take with the pawn and there is no knight on e3 to attack. So bishop e5 makes some sense. And you can also want to play h6 now to weaken the pawn and the entire dark square complex with g6. So maybe black should play h6 himself and fix the pawn on h5. एक बार बिशप का नाड़ा खुल गया तो वाइट के लग जाएंगे. ट्रू. ये नहीं खोलना भाई, पॉन को d5 पे ही रखना है. एंड आई थिंक द आइडिया इज टू प्ले knight g3 नेक्स्ट एंड टू बेसिकली आस्क द क्वेश्चन टू द रुक. इसको एक्सचेंज करवाना है ताकि वी कैन गेट रिड ऑफ दिस एक्टिव रुक. दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी डेंजरस रुक. Black plays knight e6, and I think it's time to maybe even play a move like queen h3, get out of any knight g5 ideas. वो भी आने वाला है बहुत जल्दी. This is a critical game, chat. VD has led Team India, in this event. He won the last game from a losing position. Going to the Nihal Sarin game, by the way, something has happened here. Let's have a look what happened. After the move f4, rook a1, rook c7, knight f3 played. g5, Nihal is going for the attack. After rook to a6, basically attacking d6. Apparently, bishop to c8 now, and Nihal is better. All he has to do is play h5 and go for the attack. If Nihal wins this, that would be crazy. Sindharov ko harana with the black pieces, not easy at all. Not easy at all. Because white was dominating this. Very interesting position here. Center is close. Nihal has this dominant pawn chain. Reminds me of his game, I think. I forgot who it was. In the SEC event against Ding Liren, I think. Jahan pe he had a similar attack. Going to SL's game, kya chal raha hai? We saw it till this, knight e4, f3, knight g5, rook to a7. And now he plays knight to e6, h4, rook d5. Yeah, but this is a draw, man. I just don't see anything happening. White can just play f4. He can just play bishop c3. And this will be some sort of repetition very, very quickly. Contact some more beyond you, bhai. Contact some monitor there. And they will get back to me. Now we go to Abhijeet Bhai's game, who was struggling in this position. Let's have a look. Has he somehow come back? h4 के बाद c6 के बाद knight e3 played. The knight comes back, controlling d5, preventing d5 now. Also opening up the rook spy file. And Abhijeet Bhai is still thinking. Luckily, he's ahead on the clock. That's very important, by the way. That's very important. Whenever you're losing, the worst thing you can do is to lag behind on the clock, have like no time on the clock, because then basically you are doomed to lose 100%. Even if you were to come back, you will end up losing the clock. So it's very important to maintain this time, and Abhijeet Bhai is doing a great job of that. Going back to VD's game, VD is using this extra time he has to find the best move. Probably even knight h2, yeah, just to try and bring this knight to f3. And black will probably try to put the knight on g5 so that white cannot get the knight to e5 in any case. So very complicated position. शिया में कौन सा टूर्नामेंट करे? कोई टूर्नामेंट है यार, वो आई थिंक वो इमॉर्टल जैसे कोई टूर्नामेंट है. स्टॉकफिश लूजिंग, नहीं भाई, बीट्स का मैच अभी नहीं है. बीट्स के साथ मैच कल होगा हमारा. Tomorrow we will have India versus USA. That is India versus Hans Niemann. $222 billion? What? That is impossible. कुछ भी एक 2 एक्स्ट्रा लगा दिया क्या? 22 होगा रे, not 222. Can any human beat Stockfish? No. Even if I think regardless of what you do, any human, they cannot even defeat any normal app. Sagama said he's also having issue with YouTube. Which issue is he having? Pranjala, can you let me know like what sort of issue? Vidit versus Beats tomorrow. Exactly. कल मजा आएगा भाई. 220 billion सही है. What the fuck? Really? भाई साहब. Crazy. Humans can beat engine Niemann losing. No, bhai, not the engines which have gone through the human excretory system. Yeah, not that sort. Okay, 15 minutes for Vidit now. 11. Vidit is coming close. We need to maintain that 3-4 minute edge at least. Pura barabar time pe nahi jana yaar. That's very important. That's crazy, Karan bhai. 12 years of development. That's crazy. कितना पैसा है यार, लेकिन ऐसे ऑयल वाली कंट्रीज में ना. Almost Elon Musk network. True. दूसरा मैच क्या हुआ भाई? आज का पहला मैच इंडिया वन अगेंस्ट अजरबैजान. क्रेजी विक्ट्री. 92 you can attack the rook. The problem is the rook can now go to h4, I think, and slowly he will try to pick up this pawn, I think. And if you play bishop g3 trying to attack this, then knight g5, and the knight is coming to e4. So it's a very complicated maneuver. Not sure black will find it, but let's see. तेल ही तेल है. अरे तेल तो मेरे बालों में भी है यार. मेरे को तो कोई $220 billion नहीं मिल रहा यार. Videos not listing till 20 minutes. Notice not working, etc. Okay. YouTube is having many glitches. I lost my entire YouTube revenue for October, भाई. So I know it pretty well. In fact, you will not believe it. मुझे किसी YouTuber का मैसेज आया था Instagram पे. She had like 4 lakh subscribers. वो मुझसे पूछ रही थी कि I saw your tweet. I'm having the same issue. What did you do to solve it? 4 लाख सब्सक्राइबर की यूट्यूबर मुझे मैसेज कर रहे हैं कि भाई मेरा भी सेम इशू है. तो यू कैन प्रीटी मच इमेजिन कि इट्स अ बिग इशू. Kasparov once bet computer. I know, deep blue, but that's a way in the past now. Also bribe $11 to lose opening match. Why? That is like next level. Is it like proven or is it like just speculation कि उन्होंने पैसे खिलाए थे? Is it like 100% proven or not? Come on, VD, faster. 3 मिनट की एज लगी है सिर्फ. Only 3 minutes left now. थोड़ा fast, VD, थोड़ा सा faster. Maybe just normal move. Just play. I mean, h6 खेल दो यार. Just play queen h3. Just play कुछ भी. Like, don't take so much time. Because I don't think there's any one move which you can, win the game with here. It's just a very equal position. Proven. Oh wow. अच्छा, Johnny has की video है क्या? I have not seen it. I'll check it out. यार, I have not subscribed to him. I should. I will check it out. Nihal Sarin में क्या होगा? Oh, Nihal की देखो. Nihal is still thinking he needs to find bishop c8. SL, by the way, is still trying to push. Look at SL. Trying to push in this equal endgame. Bishop f6, f4, and now the slight plan of winning is king h2, king h3, and king g4. Maybe, but okay, very difficult still, man. Should all rook endgames are drawn, and here black is fine. It should be a draw still. Chat, let's do a roundup and see what is the expected result so far. Round 4, board 4, Abhijeet bhai, clearly worse, but I think he's kind of stabilized a little bit, so I'm hoping he will draw this. More and more exchanges happening, so most likely a draw, I'm hoping. SL also a draw, so one each. Nihal Sarin is slowly starting to, attack, but the game is very complicated. Instead of bishop c8, he played queen f6. We will have a result in this game, most likely. This might be Nihal's first result. And the problem is, I cannot guess the result. This is so complicated. And now, final game, Vidit. Oh, wait. He's still not played. Chat, Vidit is down to his opponent's time now. He has to play now. We saw what happened. He won the last game only because he was ahead on the clock. Come on, VD. We have to play faster. VD should capture rook, and if captures, he has advantage. No, I'm not sure if rook e4 would be a good move, because black can just take with the f pawn or even the d pawn actually to open the bishop. Both pawn captures are okay, and that will either open the bishop or open the rook and connect his pawns regardless of how he captures. We have the isolated pawn. We should not take this rook and allow him to open the bishop or the rook. Not really. Knight g3. If you play knight g3, I think it's similar to knight d2. In fact, it is even worse, because now, knight g5, for example, and the queen is stuck. Let's say you go queen d3, and now I can either put the rook on h4, or in fact, even play a move like f4 now, and the knight is attacked. And if you take the knight, now I can take with the pawn, and this is a huge attack incoming. Queen is coming, pawn will come to f3. When you play g3, queen will come to h3, and ये सारे घर बैठे बैठे लस्सी पीते रह जाएंगे और यहाँ मेल्ट जाएगी. Let's say you play queen, I don't know, queen d2, yeah, let's say queen d2. Now I think knight f3 check, and once you capture it, then ef3, and this is losing for VD because queen is coming to h3. There is no defense. Queen d3, I assume bishop b5 wins, and this is losing. Queen f3, sorry. Directly queen g4 check. Yeah, directly mate ही है भाई, check के साथ mate है. So that's why you have to be very careful. VD probably going to live positions where hard tech आ जाए. You have to probably not allow knight g5, knight e4 such ideas. He goes queen d1. He goes all the way back, preventing knight g5 with a tempo. But the issue here is कि मतलब black can anyway just play like rook h4, prepare knight g5, knight e4, and even though white also has the strong piece, like बराबर है. White का strong bishop against black का strong knight, which will come to e4. Because black has the active rook, he is the one who can utilize this somehow. White के pieces, बाकी सारे piece बहुत passive है. First rank पे literally 5 lines से, and that means कि we cannot use the advantage of this bishop. Luckily ये bishop कमजोर है, otherwise तो black पेल रहा होता. NM क्या रे? कभी क्रिकेट मैच देखने स्टेडियम गया हूँ भाई, 2-3 बार गया हूँ यार. It's not too much fun to be honest. इतना दूर से कुछ दिखता ही नहीं है. Is your microphone volume high today? Maybe. I don't know. उतना high तो नहीं है. एक सबसे high होगा शायद. Going to game of Nihal Sarin भाई, कुछ हुआ नहीं है. Going to SL, nothing has happened. Going to Abhijeet, yeah, not much has happened. Let's stick to Vidit's game. देखा उज़्बेक टीम इतने टाइम फिर भी खेल रही है, फाइट कर रही है भाई. Of course, they are very ambitious. बिस्वा फाइनल्स में इतना हारा है, मुझे फिक्स लगने लगा है. आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी कॉमन. जो पहली बार जीतता है ना, वो हर बार हिस्ट्री रिपीट इटसेल्फ. घर पे आराम से बैठ के देखो. एग्जैक्टली. आई एम प्लानिंग टू समथिंग विदाउट कंटेक्स्ट. बताओ करूं या नहीं, आई कांट डिसाइड. कर दो भाई. बाइनोकुलर लेके देखते हैं. हाँ, बट इट्स लाइक इट्स नॉट द सेम फीलिंग. लाइक मतलब वो फीलिंग नहीं आती यार. आप में से थोड़ी सी राहुल सुब्रमण्यम वाली फीलिंग आती है भाई. राहुल सुब्रमण्यम से कंपेयर कर लिया भाई. नो ऑफेंस. Oh, by the way, SL has drawn chat. After F4, we played Rook A7. He repeated moves. So SL has drawn. That's already half point each. Not a bad result as expected. Going back to the video game. Bicycle tour पे जा रहा हूँ. Awesome भाई. कहाँ जाओगे यार? Oh, by the way, what happened? Go. After Queen D1, he took on E1. That's definitely not a good move from Black. At least he should have waited white to weaken himself with F3. And now Queen takes and F4 played. So यहाँ पे you have to be careful. You don't want Black to basically play F3, G3, then Knight G5, Queen H3. ये सब avoid करना है. So probably F3 here might be an interesting try just to stop this pawn. That is definitely one of the moves that comes to mind कि F3 खेलने ही मत दो. Or you could play Knight H2 just to come to F3 and again preventing F3. I think that is kind of important here. Chat लगी होगी भाई. Chat कहाँ गई भाई? Chat होनी चाहिए. आजकल बीज एंड फ्रिज से डर लगने लगा है. फ्रिज. अबे यार भाई, मैंने एक प्रैंक वीडियो देखी जहां पे एक बंदे ने एक जग लिया, उसमें एक फोटो ली, उसके अंदर कुछ भर दिया, उसको गोल कर दिया, उसमें कुछ लाल लगा दिए एंड वो फ्रिज में रख दिया. तो उसका जो दोस्त आके फ्रिज खोलता देखता है, लगता है मुंडी पड़ी है किसी की. प्लीज शाउट आउट प्रिथेश. कल मेरा स्कूल है. अरे भाई प्रिथेश भाई, गुड लक भाई फॉर स्कूल. 9 move. True, that is one of the most possible. Where is the Ereza Bullet tournament? I think that's on Srina's channel, right? Rook F5, bishop trap, but the bishop is defended. I wouldn't call this a bishop trapped. I think the bishop is very good on E5. Imagine करो अगर ये rook यहाँ वहाँ कहीं होता, like that would be game over. ये bishop is a very strong piece. The only thing is कि कोई piece support नहीं कर पा रहे. Slowly they can come to the support. Best move, you have to prevent F3. So either Knight H2 or F3 yourself. One of these moves. ठीक है, मैं चेक कर लूंगा. सॉरी भाई, थैंक्स अ लॉट. 406 कब चाहे चैट के लिए लगाओ रे. नाइस. गोइंग टू निहाल सरीन. अरे भाई, किंग साइड खुल चुकी है भाई. ये गेम में ड्रॉ नहीं होगा चैट. So after queen f6, rook fa1, so white goes for the queen side. Knight to c8 played. He wins a pawn on b5 and Nihal plays g4, opening up the king side instead. F takes, bishop takes, and now the question is either Nihal will crash through on the king side, destroy white by checkmating him, or white will simply defend the attack and then queen one of these pawns. Important match for both teams. Luckily for Nihal, look at the time situation. Nihal is 10 minutes ahead on the clock, and I would say white के लिए time बहुत कम है to figure out the complexities. Maybe rook 1 a3 is a good move for white, trying to defend horizontally. But still, Nihal should have good chances. Going to Abhijeet Bhai's game, Abhijeet Bhai has taken the A file, good chance there. Going for counterplay now, not just trying to defend. That's very important. White को free hand नहीं देना, time भी ठीक ठाक है, so he has chances to hold. Going to VD's game, VD is still thinking, he's fallen down on the clock. VD, don't take so much time. This is exactly what Narayanan did last game में, time ज़्यादा use किया, and then he lost with a blunder, so we do not want to take too much time here. India is ranked second place in this tournament so far. They need a win to be sure to qualify. Tomorrow we have one more game remaining. Draw पे 80% qualify हो जाएंगे quarter finals के लिए, and loss पे तो फिर कल do or die होगा. So loss नहीं करना है, draw कम से कम and hopefully win. Crash तो अबे ये नहीं बोलते रहे. Going back to Nihal's, oh rook h1 played. Wow. So rook h1, white is like थोड़ा confused कि इधर चला मैं उधर चला भाई, कहाँ चला कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. VD back to default settings. अरे यार, I think rook g7 seems like a very active move here. Feels very logical. You put the rook on g7 opposite g2. Very logical. Next, you can maybe take on F3 and put the rook on G3 and then try to double up, triple up maybe, and put all the pressure. ये bishop को completely useless बनाने का है. Going to the game of VD again. VD is still thinking 6.5 minutes for VD. VD played F3. He played F3. Nice. Black plays at 6. Good move. Now let's play knight H2 and knight G4. Let's put the knight on G4 and slowly try to get it to E5 maybe. I think VD has a good chance. He plays queen H4 instead. The queen is trying to penetrate on many squares if black were to move the knight. Black plays rook F5, the best move in the position. And I think his plan is to play queen F7 and simply chop off this pawn. So VD needs to come up with some counter attack here. Otherwise, black will simply win a pawn and then start pushing like... He plays G4. That's a very risky move. He's blundered apparently. Chat, rook either knight G5, which is a spectacular move, is losing for VD, and so is rook takes E5, D takes E5 and D4. Both moves seem to be losing for VD. VD has blundered. G4 is not a good move. He had to sack the pawn here, play knight H2, and if queen F7, you basically, let's say, give the pawn and basically go for counterplay like bishop D6. Let's say queen H5. Now you can probably even trade queens, rook H5, you go rook E1, you go knight G4 and try to penetrate on the E file. The counterplay was the answer. He tries to save the pawn and now it seems to be that he's struggling. But will his opponent find this move? VD. And now both. Knight G5 is a spectacular move because if you take the rook, you lose the queen with a simple fork. So Knight G5 feels so tempting. G4 तो गलत move खेल दी यार. Do you think Bollywood should stop him remakes? Bollywood is entirely about remakes. If you remove copycatting, I think Bollywood will be left with like 2 movies a year. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. Stefan भाई, जो बंदा... If anyone ever says no, imagine there's some sort of, calamity or some sort of tragedy that happens and some guy says, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. I think that guy is the guy who सब कुछ किया है भाई. उसी बंदे ने सब कुछ किया है. वही बंदा है जो सब कुछ कर रहा है भाई. That is the problem guy. Knight G5 is very findable. In fact, I would play it without, it feels so logical, right, to attack F3. I don't think Knight G5 is tough, Chad. I think it's very simple to find. Rook E5 is a lot more complicated because you have to examine the position deeply and it's not easy with 7 minutes on the clock. You will need a lot more time. I think Knight G5 is the move, but unfortunately Knight G5 is a very good move here. And Ponsa is not forced at all. It's not forced at all. I told you, अबे 1-1.25 घंटा क्या करते हैं यार, आधा घंटा कर सकते हैं, 1.25 घंटा क्या करते हैं यार. Don't worry, India will not lose. India will not lose, chat. Don't worry. Going to Nihal Sarin's game. Nihal Sarin still fighting. Somebody has to strike from Team India because SL has already drawn. Abhijeet Bhai is slightly worse, so the best he can do is draw. Assuming he draws, that will be 1 each. So VD is struggling. If black finds the best move, then Nihal has to strike. We need a draw. If India lose, तो कल फिर knockout match होगा भाई against USA. अगर India हार गई तो बाहर हो सकती है literally. So we cannot afford a loss. Next 2 games lose, we get knocked out. भाई लीग स्टेज में बाहर नहीं होना रे. लीग स्टेज में बाहर नहीं होना. Going to the game of Vidit Gujrathi. Come on, VD. कुछ क्या नाम है, याकूब भाई. देखो लालच देना ही नहीं है भाई. याकूब गलती करेंगे, भरोसा है उन पे, भरोसा है. आप इतना कैसे बोल लेते हो? बस भाई मतलब अपनी एक्स से सीखा है भाई. इतना बकवास करती थी कि आदत हो गई है मुझे भी. नहीं होंगे लेट्स होप सो. यूएसए टीम में हैंस नीमन इज द कैप्टन भाई, तो देखना पड़ेगा भाई. यू नेवर नो, आखिरी राउंड में बीट पावर इस्तेमाल की ना की जाए. यू नेवर नो बड़ी. Okay, at least time बराबर हो चुका है. At least that's a plus point. Black is taking his time, but that also means कि भाई he might have found the move, because अगर rook f7 ही खेलना होता या rook f8 खेलना होता, he would not take so much time. So that means he has found one of these moves, and that means he's calculating that move. Not a good sign for VD. Let's see. आप बोले तो याकूबोव को बाथरूम में किडनैप करके डाल दूं. भाई बाथरूम में किडनैप करके डाल दूं मतलब बाथरूम में भी साला क्या पता कोई आजकल चेस प्लेस बाथरूम में बंद हो तो भाई यूजुअली चीटिंग का केस होता है भाई. लेट्स नॉट डू दैट. गॉड नीमन कैन बीट इंडिया साइमल। ये टीम तो क्रिकेट टीम जैसे धोखा दे रही है। अभी दिया नहीं है भाई, दे माइट स्टिल होल्ड। What's Abhijeet Bhai doing? If Abhijeet Bhai loses, we are lost. तो अभिजीत भाई को तो रोकना ही रोकना है किसी भी हालत में। अभिजीत भाई प्लीज भाई ड्रॉ कर लो यार, प्लीज। Going to Nihal's game. Oh, Nihal plays after rook king 2 h7. I think he's preparing rook g8. Very clever move. Yeah, king g1, rook g8 played. Now he will play rook g7. Very, very complicated move because white's best move here is king 2 f1 or king f2, which is very difficult to play as a human. So I do like Nihal's chances in this position. I think he will definitely put a lot of pressure, especially because these pawns are far away. If this pawn was here, I would say Nihal is lost. These pawns are far away. The bishop is absolutely stupid. It's not doing anything. Yeah, if it can come to e8 and h5, maybe it will be very good. But right now, there's no entry square, luckily. Putting it on c6 does nothing because he finds king f1 by Sethuraman, putting the pressure back on Nihal. Time to take on f3 and play rook to g3, double up rooks and attack g2 like crazy. I think it's time, and then slowly trying to bring the final piece into the game, maybe via this path, will give Nihal good chances going to VD's game. He took on e5. He found the best move. He found the best move. He found the best move. He played rook takes. VD under huge stress now. d4 played. VD under huge pressure. Oh my god, this is not going to be easy because the pawn is very strong. The bishop has opened up. This bishop, ये बिशप लिटरली मतलब वास्तुशास्त्र मूवी की आत्मा की तरह है। एक बार खुल जाए ना तो सारी आत्माएं साथ में बाहर निकलती हैं। आई डोंट नो इफ यू सीन वास्तुशास्त्र, मत देखना भाई, रात को बहुत डरोगे। Knight h2, बेस्ट मूव प्लेड बाय Vidit, गुड मूव देयर, एंड नाउ ब्लैक विल प्रॉब्ली टेक, एंड द इशू इज I don't think I can take back because my king is so weak. Now queen d4 check basically loses the rook, and that means I'll have a passed pawn on c3. Huge pressure on VD's shoulders because if he loses with the white pieces, तो बाकी टीम के लिए comeback करना will be next to impossible. Come on, VD, you need to hold this. You need to hold this. There should be a way because clearly, even though black has better pieces, I think material-wise, look at the position. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. White will lose this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he will have one less pawn. So it will be like a bishop and a pawn for a rook. So technically, material-wise, VD is fine. But the issue is the king's position. It's very weak. The knight is coming to d4. The queen is coming to d4. Maybe there's pressure. And knight on h2 is literally like... It's literally, it reminds me of myself यार, घर बैठे बैठे भाई यूट्यूबर बनेंगे हम घर बैठे बैठे। It reminds me of myself. Eval is stable. It seems stable because engine को डर नहीं लगता रे, but practically it's very difficult to find good moves. Yeah, exactly. याको भाई CSL खेलना चाहता है क्या? The point of knight is to defend f3, man. That's the point. Because you cannot lose the f3 pawn. That will be game over. Going to the game of Nihal Sarin now. What's happening? King f1 का Nihal is still thinking. He has more time. That might be really, really important. सर भाई एक बार स्ट्रीम पर बोल दो. आहान शुक्ला वन मेंबरशिप इन लास्ट स्ट्रीम. अगर जिंदा है तो इसको डीएम कर लेगा. आहान शुक्ला वन द लास्ट मेंबरशिप भाई. ऑसम भाई. कांग्रेट कर दो भाई. कांग्रेट्स भाई. कॉन्टैक्ट somebody on Discord. Going to the Vidit's game. Come on भाई. Please let's go. Let's go भाई. We can do this. We can do this buddy. VD, it's all on your shoulders, man. It's all on your shoulders. You have the power to do it. Just find good moves. Look at the clock, by the way. Black is struggling. Oh, he does not take the pawn. He plays d3. So at least VD maintains one more pawn. This is a better version for VD, I feel, because now the queen cannot penetrate. The d4 square is controlled. Even though black has a passed pawn still, I think, yeah, this is a better version somehow. Rook d1 played by VD. Makes sense. Very logical move. d2 was coming anyways. But now knight g5 maybe. Knight is coming to putting pressure on f3. Then king g2 to defend the f3 pawn. Time कम है black के पास. देखो time 5 मिनट 2 मिनट एक्स्ट्रा है, but that really helps. कोई लैग वैग होगा यार शशवाले भाई उनका. ड्रॉइश गुजराती बाहर निकल भाई. ड्रॉइश गुजराती क्या है भाई? ड्रॉ भी कर लिया तो बड़ी बात है भाई. चलेगा, चारों ड्रॉ चलेंगे चैट. आई विल टेक इट बिकॉज ड्रॉ के बाद हमारे क्वालिफिकेशन चांसेस आर रफली 80-90%. सो आई विल टेक इट कंफर्टेबली. अभिजीत भाई क्या कर रहे हैं? अभिजीत भाई भी ड्रॉ की तरफ बढ़ते हुए आफ्टर रुक a6 d4 के बाद सिंपली यहां पे g4 पॉन मार देने का, डरने का नहीं अभिजीत भाई, डरने का नहीं, खुला मारने का भाई, खुला खाने का भाई, प्यादे दुनिया भर के डरने का नहीं अभिजीत भाई, बस मार दो भाई, खत्म कर दो, खत्म कर दो इस प्यादे को भाई. Nihal Sarin is still thinking, oh Nihal is falling close to his opponent's clock. एक बार बोल दो पूजा बेवफाई, पूजा बेवफाई भाई. लेकिन मैंने आई थिंक इंडिया के कम से कम 1% लड़के को बेवफा बोल दिया अभी. ब्लंडर होने, इफ वी लूज आर वी आउट? नो, वी आर नॉट आउट, बट आई थिंक कल का मैच विल बी नॉकआउट बिटवीन इंडिया एंड यूएसए. इट इज पॉसिबल कि कल का मैच माइट बी अ नॉकआउट, लाइक वी माइट हैव टू विन ऑन डिमांड, क्योंकि टाई ब्रेक क्या है कुछ पता नहीं है. सो टू बी एब्सोल्युटली श्योर कल ऑन डिमांड विन करना पड़ेगा, एंड मे बी ड्रॉ पे शायद इन हो जाए अगर टाई ब्रेक सही हो तो. वी डोंट नो दैट फॉर श्योर येट. सो अगर ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे तो that will definitely give us higher chances. He plays rook g7. He plays rook g7 finally. 0.69 revenue पर कितने गिव अवे करते हैं साहिल भाई? Exactly. Okay, wild की pressure है, because the thing is, chat, I have a question for you. Which side would you play here? This is so complicated. This is the black's perspective and this is the white's perspective. Which side would you play? एक तो दिखता है कि white के पास clearly, you know, if white is given 5 moves, he would finish the game off with his pawns. Like ये pawn यहाँ पहुंच जाएगा literally. But which side would you take? White, black. They have काफी nobody is sure exactly which side is better. Queen f2, excellent move by white, defending some critical squares, maybe even trying to trade queens. That's a possibility as well. Also preventing, controlling this important diagonal. एक बार बोल दो मोदी जी भाई, पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में नो कमेंट्स भाई. आई हैव नो पॉलिटिकल ओपिनियंस. कोई भी जीते आई नो अपने बारे में सोचने वाले भाई. Black lives matter. Okay, what's VD doing? VD. Oh, black played knight g5. VD has 3 minutes now. All the pressure on VD. King g2 makes the most sense because anyway is diagonal pe king can be attacked someday. So let's play king g2 and simply defend the pawn. Let's not use our entire queen. Anyway, queen se defend kar bhi nahi sakte. Queen f2 khelenge to knight s3 loses the queen. 4 ko lag jayega simple sa. So there's only one way to defend clearly. That's king g2. 4 teams will qualify out of 6 teams. That's not so difficult technically. But the issue is कि सारी टीम की रेटिंग बराबर है almost. Like there's no weakling. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई मतलब क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप है और नेदरलैंड्स भी खेल रही है, जिम्बाब्वे भी खेल रही है, ऐसा है ही नहीं. सारी टीम एटलीस्ट बोलते हैं मतलब पाकिस्तान के लेवल की तो है ही है. सो दैट मीन्स कि भाई द कॉम्पिटिशन इज स्टिफ. ब्लंडर कर दे सामने वाला बस. किंग g2 played by VD. Yeah. 2.5 minutes for both players now, chat. 2.5 minutes. Chat, let's get to 400 likes. सब stream like कर दो. आपके सामने like उंगली का बटन को दबा दो भाई. And if you are here for the first time, do subscribe to the channel guys. Let's go. हमारी फैमिली में शामिल हो जाओ भाई. 30 के करना है भाई जल्दी से. Let's go. 30 के पहुंचना है. बहुत टाइम से इंतजार कर रहे हैं भाई. 30 के करना है यार. YT separate live streams tab and videos अब मत करा करो on list. But it will still recommend those live streams. That's the issue भाई. Even if it's separate tabs. पाक तो फाइनल पहुंच गया था. एग्जैक्टली माई पॉइंट. कोई भी फाइनल पहुंच सकता है. come on. If queen d5, I think it puts a lot of pressure. Like you want to capture on f3 now, but now I can play queen f2 because there is no knight s3 check. And again, it's he plays d2. He pushes the pawn all the way. Wow, he is going for it. Black does not want to back down. And look at VD. Chat. यहाँ पे VD found the only move. Who in the chat will find this move? कौन निकालेगा? It's a brilliant move. The idea being, if you play something random like a3, let's say, bishop a4 wins on the spot because the rook is hanging. यहाँ पे एक ही move है VD के पास and he found it. Yes, it is e6. Everything else is completely lost. At least -9. Imagine only move e6 to distract the pieces. यहां से अगर queen से मारेंगे then I can pick up the pawn. Knight से मारोगे तो there's no pressure on f3. Excellent move by VD. What an excellent find. And now black is thinking. I think black completely missed e6. I think black missed. Nihal lost कह रहे हैं music for gaming. How? Oh, Nihal is worse. That is not looking good. Rook g7, queen f2, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook g3, bishop d7. Excellent move by white. Nihal seems to be worse. मैंने यही कहा था ये bishop game में नहीं आना चाहिए. Grab the bishop can even go to g4 and block the rook completely or come to f5, give a check or even exchange itself regardless. Nihal struggling. What's Abhijeet bhai doing? Abhijeet bhai fighting for a draw. Abhijeet bhai, agar Abhijeet bhai loses, the match is over literally. Abhijeet bhai has to draw at all cost. Nihal, you need to come some trick. Opponent Nihal has won less than 1 minute now. Looks difficult. VD's game e6. VD, come on man, we need some upset here. Oh, black took with the queen. Black took with the queen. VD got the d2 pawn. That's an important deal for VD. VD finally got the d2 pawn. Black plays king h7, gets out of any checks on d8 and so on. There will be no check here because white does not have a light square bishop. And now slowly I think black wants to basically put pressure, like advance the queen side pawns, put the bishop on d5, maybe put the queen on e3, long term, get the knight to e3 if he can. Slowly, with passive pieces, it's very difficult. So white also has to slowly read out his pieces one by one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. White membership कैसे गिफ्ट करोगे बंदे को? भाई देख लेंगे यार, कर देंगे गिफ्ट. If it draws this, Modi should tweet about. Let's hope so, भाई. But this is difficult. Draw के लिए मुश्किल है. Luckily for VD, opponent has only 1 minute, so it will not be easy for the opponent. But still, man. Yeah, the first move is queen f2. So can you play queen f2? Luckily the knight is here, so queen g4 is not possible. But the issue here is knight f3. And you can't take with the queen, and if you take with the knight, now queen g4 check, and you have to move the king and black wins. So VD is in some sort of weird zugzwang where all he can do is just move the rook. He cannot move the knight, he cannot move the queen, he cannot move the king, he cannot move the pawns. All he can move is the rook. Whitey चाहिए उसको. अरे हाँ, but Whitey gift कैसे करेंगे यार? We can't gift one guy, no? That is not possible. अरे ये बात तो सही बोलते हैं. How will you gift a Whitey membership? We can't give a specific person. आहान से बोलो भाई कि या तो मैं रैंडम गिफ्ट कर दूं या तो मैं मतलब उसको चेस कॉम दे दूंगा. आई थिंक वी कांट गिफ्ट अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन. आई थिंक लाइव स्ट्रीम अपने से क्या नुकसान है, बिकॉज लाइव स्ट्रीम्स बाद में देखने का उतना कोई पॉइंट होता नहीं है. दैट्स द इशू. Nihal losing. Nihal is also losing and VD is struggling. I think VD will draw maybe, but that is not enough now because Abhijeet bhai is losing. Abhijeet bhai is losing. What the hell just happened? After rook d1 was a slight mistake. Rook a2. He took on a2. Another mistake. Rook takes. Knight d2 was a blunder, and now knight e3. And then d5 and slowly bring piece into the attack. Rook a7 and white is completely winning. We are literally worse on all three boards. हमारा tie break भी f up हो जाएगा भाई. If we lose so horribly, हमारा literally tie break भी खराब हो जाएगा यार. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. Going to the Nihal game. Can Nihal pull off some sort of trick here at the last moment? Not looking good, chat. Not looking good at all. Not looking good at all. VD, can VD fight for us? Doesn't seem like it's possible, chat. Doesn't seem like he can do much. He's literally playing with the only rook in this position. He cannot move the queen, knight, king, pawns. कुछ भी नहीं चल सकता भाई. Chat, I think this is looking really bad. I think India might lose this one. By the way, chat, Azerbaijan and Poland have drawn this match 2 each. So that means both teams gain a point. Poland comes to 3 points. They will still be behind India. That's a good sign. Time control 45 plus 10. We need 2 teams behind India. If India has 2 teams behind by points, not by tiebreak, that will ensure कल हमारे अच्छे chances हैं. Oh, he takes f3. Black is going for a draw. Black कितना chunt है भाई. Black ने देखा they are winning on the remaining boards and Black goes for a draw. अबे यार. This removes any chance because now knight f3, king f3, queen e3 check seems to be an immediate draw, chat. f3 check, king h3, and now yeah, queen e2 seems to be a very weird scenario jahan pe draw hai. This is apparently a draw. Let's see how black finishes. Yeah, knight f3 captured by Vidit, knight f3 captured by his opponent. Let's see how the game ends. 30 रुपए दे दो उसको, खुद ले लेगा मेंबरशिप. ठीक है भाई. Come on. Yeah, this happened. Knight f3, king f3, queen e3, king g2, f3 check. This reminds me of Carlsen against, I think, somebody he played in the Olympiad, yeah? Uzbekistan भी investigated, नहीं रे, for what? For playing awesome chess. They are playing good chess. मैंने कहा था Uzbekistan stream is severely, and this is without Abdusattorov भाई. So just saying. Of course हमारे भी Prague और ये सब नहीं खेल रहे, like Gukesh and Arjun and so on, but still pretty awesome. Vidit has 2 seconds. Play fast, Vidit. King h3 was the only move, I think, in fact. Thank God he found it. Now Queen e2 is the only move for black. मत खेल Queen e2 यार, कुछ और खेल दे भाई प्लीज. कुछ भी खेल दे, F2 चेक दे दे भाई. बढ़िया, Queen कर Queen. हिम्मत है तो F2 खेल. अगर भगवान ने अमूल का दूध पिलाया तो F2 खेल भाई. Come on, let's go. F2 खेल भाई, प्लीज प्लीज F2 खेल दे भाई. पॉन पुश करना, डर क्यों रहा है? हिम्मत है तो करना F2 पुश. 16 seconds of black. 14, 13, 12. ये गेम जीतना इंपॉर्टेंट है भाई. That's our only hope. Oh, he finds Queen e2 यार. Now mate in 1 is a threat, so Queen g3 is the only move. Smooth Amul integration. भाई Amul मेरा कोई sponsor थोड़ी है. Queen g3 is the only move by the way, or we lose the game. Queen g3 is the only move. He finds it. Now f2 from black. Rook f4 and rook देना पड़ेगा Queen के बदले. Okay, this looks equal. What's happening in Nihal's game? Has he come with some attack? Nihal is completely lost. It's over. It's plus 68 after d6, e7. It is over, chat. Nihal Sarin is completely lost. Rook g7, rook takes, bishop f5 check. King g7 was the final mistake because d6. Oh, he missed rook d2. Oh, rook d2 was the drawing move. He missed it. He completely missed it. Shit. And he played queen g3. Oh. And rook h3 was the only move, but white finds it. And queen g5 वापस आना पड़ा मुंह छुपा के. And Nihal has resigned. Nihal Sarin has lost the game against Sethuraman. Uzbekistan again making India cry even without their star player. We go to the game of Abhijeet bhai who's also losing. भाई कपड़े फाड़ दो मेरे यार तुम भाई क्या चल रहा है यार ये VD क्या कर रहा है भाई. Okay, going to VD's game after the move. Queen e2, queen g3, f2, rook f4, f1, queens, takes, king g2. I think this will be a draw now. Black can just repeat moves, check, and India will lose 3-1. Wow, came back and first thing I heard is everyone losing. Everyone is losing. India will lose 3-1. I think even if VD draws by 3 seconds, VD chal. वो आधा point बहुत important है भाई tie break के लिए. We need that half point. Queen e5 check, king g3, queen d5. In fact, black is trying to win this one. He's trying to attack this pawn. कि भाई a pawn दे दो. Just a3 though. I don't see any issues. Queen f2 also makes sense. Queen f5 incoming. भाई 3-1 correct prediction, but 1-3 था. अरे 1-3. अभिजीत भाई cheat. अबे यार क्या बोल रहे हो यार. Queen e4, excellent move. Centralizing, chat. Whenever you are playing a queen endgame, always keep your queen centralized. When your queen is on these 4 squares, it controls a lot of squares and has an influence across the board. Prevents any checks. Keeps an eye on this pawn. Keeps an eye on here. Check. Now queen d4 maybe is a draw. Queen d4 maybe defending g4 indirectly. अजरबैजान से भी गलती से जीत गए थे भाई. लकीली जीत गए भाई. अगर अजरबैजान से हार गए होते अभी घर जा रहे होते हम. लकीली जीत गए अजरबैजान से, वरना भी हम घर की पैकिंग कर रहे होते भाई. बच गए बाल मौका मिल गया भाई. Okay, so VD is a pawn down apparently, but I think this is perpetual. Yeah, queen e6 and it should be perpetual now. It should be a draw. It should be a draw. भाई अभिजीत भाई कुछ ज्यादा ही डाउन नहीं है मटेरियल भाई. या अभिजीत भाई also resigned, chat, and Team India has lost unfortunately, and that means Team India goes down 2 and we already have gone down 2.5 half. VD at least get the 1/2 point. Why did VD give the c3 pawn भाई? ये भी ना हार जाए भाई. 3.5 half 3-1 नहीं हारना यार. नहीं 3.5 half नहीं हारना भाई. If India loses 3.5 half, I will tear my clothes on live stream and cry like a little bitch भाई. Please don't do that. 3.5 half नहीं हार सकते. अभिजीत भाई से ऊपर की रेटिंग का नहीं था क्या? थे ना यार, थे यार. They did not feel their strongest team. I don't know why. Okay, queen f5 check I assume. Oh, he has to take queen a7 is the only drawing move. Take the pawn, VD, take the pawn, VD, take the pawn, don't risk it. Take the damn pawn. You defend everything for now. Take the damn pawn, VD, please. I'm scared, Chad, I'm scared. 3 and oh, he takes it. Thank God he takes it. Thank God he takes it. नाउ वी शुड लूज, मजा आएगा भाई, मजे नहीं करने भाई, देश की इज्जत चाहिए भाई, मजे बाद में अलग से अपनी अभी गर्लफ्रेंड से करो यार। आई थिंक मजे करने के लिए भाई इतना दूर में इजराइल नहीं गए भाई, हमें जीतना है रे। Uzbek team, by the way, kudos to Uzbek team, man. Uzbek team is just insane. It's just insane. King f6, the king is coming to g5 slowly. Chat, really has to be careful. Queen d4 played, okay. So he puts pressure on the g4 pawn. King g3 and king h3 are the only moves. I think that's obvious. Not a big surprise there. Okay, king... do we go up? I think we have to go up, right? King h4. भाई डर लग रहा है रे king h4 खेलने, बट खेलना पड़ेगा। I think कोई ऑप्शन है नहीं। Okay, king g3. We remember all times you were single and go for the pawn. ये क्या है? Abhijeet proves that बनिया के never, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है भाई। He's pretty awesome. He's a 55-time Commonwealth champion. Are you enjoying all the lose all the time praising Uzbeks, Kazakhs? गब्बर भाई मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा, आपका स्टेटमेंट ज़्यादा गलत है कि इंग्लिश? दैट्स द ओनली प्रॉब्लम। Chess is pretty tough, I know, we can see. Not every time, but you get the point, Anisha. Like, he has won it like 10 times or something. छोटी बिच्ची हो क्या? I think, I don't know why Ronak is not playing. And now you kind of feel, no, like, India should have fielded a stronger team. I don't know why Gukesh and Hari are not playing. Ronak, like, I wish they were playing this match, man. Like, it would really help. Like, at the end, it's a world teams, right? So, if India wins a gold medal, then क्या पता इंडियन टीम को ही बाद में मोदी जी अनाउंस कर दे भाई 1 करोड़ रुपए, लाइक हु द हेल नोस. सो आई विश दे हैड प्लेड दिस. आई एम श्योर दे हैव जेन्युइन रीजंस, बट आई रियली विश दे हैड प्लेड. लाइक वी हैड अ स्ट्रॉन्गर टीम. नाउ इट्स लाइक कि मतलब इतना पैसा क्यों लगता है टिकवा जी के लिए? भाई कोचिंग के लिए और ट्रैवल के लिए लगता है यार. इंडिया बैठे बैठे तुम बन ही नहीं सकते बिकॉज स्ट्रॉन्ग टूर्नामेंट्स होते नहीं है. Okay, this should be a draw, man. This should be a draw. Oh, okay. Just as I said, it's a draw. Suddenly, Black's king came on g5. Now I'm a bit scared, chat. Chat, I am a bit scared now. So I am a bit scared. Okay, I'm very scared now. I'm very scared now. Okay, because queen e4, king h3, there's queen h1 losing on the spot. Chat, I'm really scared now. अबे ये क्या कर दिया वीडी? Is Vidit losing? I think he's losing. I think he's losing this game. How do you defend now? He's lost! Vidit is lost! No, Vidit is completely lost. Queen f4 resigns. Queen f4 resigns. India gets destroyed. 3.5 half. Oh my god. India gets destroyed. 3.5 half. India gets destroyed. 3.5 half. Dude, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Really? अबे यार ये क्या हो रहा है भाई? अबे इतनी बुरी तरह कैसे हार सकते हैं यार? And VD resigns. VD has resigned. Oh my god. Oh my god. भाई स्टैंडिंग्स देखना बहुत क्रूशल है भाई. एक बार स्टैंडिंग्स पे नजर मारते हैं. बाय द वे, उज्बेकिस्तान क्रशेस इंडिया विद 3.5 half. Azerbaijan, Poland draw 2 each. Azerbaijan goes ahead. Azerbaijan होता तो 4-0 होता. Yeah, very much possible. SL, yeah, again holding half a point there. And then we have US against Israel. Israel is winning against US. भाई स्टैंडिंग्स क्या है भाई? स्टैंडिंग्स देखें जल्दी से. चैट रुको भाई, स्टैंडिंग्स देखना बहुत क्रूशल है यार. अब स्टैंडिंग्स क्या है यार? तो दिल टूटने वाली फीलिंग आ रही है भाई. अगर हम पहले नॉकआउट हो गए तो भाई बेइज्जती हो जाएगी यार, खतरनाक. सो इंडिया इज स्टिल इन सेकेंड प्लेस, बट थिंग इज आई थिंक अभी उज्बेकिस्तान के 2 पॉइंट ऐड नहीं हुए हैं. एंड अभी आई थिंक इफ यू गो बैक, हु वाज विनिंग एक्चुअली? रुको. सो इजराइल अगेंस्ट so Israel or US ka, I think Israel is going to win. So Israel will come to 4 points and so they will come tied with India. Uzbekistan goes ahead. So India is still in 4th place. Yeah, India is still in 4th place. India is in 4th place. So technically still there, but that means कल जीतना important है. अगर कल US ने India को हरा दिया, I think India might just get knocked out. I think India might. Let's wait for the US game to finish by. अबे कपड़े फाड़ देंगे स्ट्रीम के लास्ट में. रुको भाई, फाड़ते हैं भाई, इंतजार करो ना भाई. पहले यूएससी गेम तो देख ले क्या चल रहा है भाई यूएससी गेम में. रुको. अबे ये क्या हो रहा है भाई? गोइंग बैक टू द गेम. 1 सेकेंड चैट. What's happening in the final US game? That's very important now. It's a draw. Wow. ये क्या पोजीशन है भाई? Is this really a draw? Is this really a draw? White piece up नहीं लगा किसी को? How is this a draw? How is this a draw? Wow. US field and engine still losing. I am not sure. ओलंपिक का बदला लेने गए थे. डैश लगवा कर वापस आएंगे. इंडिया लॉस बट चैट वन. ये कह रहे कपड़े ही फाड़ने ना फाड़ देंगे भाई. क्वीन D7. कम ऑन भाई, ड्रॉ कर लो यार. ड्रॉ करने पे क्या होगा? ड्रॉ करने पे इजराइल विन एंड इजराइल विल गो टू 4 पॉइंट्स. हमारे लिए बेस्ट होगा अगर यूएस जीत जाए, बट यूएस तो जीत ही नहीं सकती ना. हाँ, यूएस तो जीत ही नहीं सकती. सो वी वांट यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स टू हैव द लीस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ पॉइंट्स. सो इजराइल का जीतना हमारे फेवर में है क्या? आई डोंट इवन नो. चैट, कल पोलैंड का किससे है? कल इंपॉर्टेंट मैच है. कल पोलैंड का किससे मैच है? लेट मी चेक. कल पोलैंड का है उज्बेकिस्तान से. सो इफ पोलैंड विंस टुमारो अगेंस्ट उज्बेकिस्तान एंड यूएस विंस अगेंस्ट इंडिया एंड और क्या पेयरिंग है? एंड अजरबाईजान एंड इजराइल. इजराइल कितने पॉइंट हो गए भाई? इजराइल के हो गए 4 पॉइंट. 4 पॉइंट. एंड इफ इजराइल ड्रॉज अगेंस्ट अजरबाईजान देन इंडिया गेट्स नॉक्ड आउट. सो if Israel draws against them and US defeats India, हाँ, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो India gets knocked out. There's a possibility India gets knocked out tomorrow. There's a genuine possibility. There's a genuine possibility. That is not good. देखते हैं भाई. ठीक है, ठीक है chat. I'll see you tomorrow then. It was nice to have this stream. अब मैं कपड़े फाड़ता हूँ. 3, 2, 1.